10 years ago, this track was a half-mile in length. Tonight, for the first time in history, the Pontiac Excitement 400 is being run at night on the beautiful three-quarter-mile venue, Richmond International Raceway. And good evening, everyone. Settle in now for an evening of exciting racing. Not only are we racing at night for the first time this time of year, but we're a little later than usual, Ned.
Yes, we are. We normally come here in February, and we have seen some adverse weather in February. Totally different this time. Now, it's a little bit cooler here tonight than you would expect in June, but they qualified yesterday in the late of the evening, and it was cool then. But all of their practice setting up for the race was in the heat of the day today, Benny.
Oh, that's going to be tough for these guys to adjust these cars, because this afternoon at 3 o'clock, the temperature on the racetrack around 80 degrees. The surface temperature almost 100 degrees. And on the racetrack, 127 degrees. Right now, just at race time, we'll check the temperature, and we see it's about 74, 75 degrees. 5 degree in temperature, but the racetrack, the sun is gone, so the racetrack is cooling off. It's going to make it very difficult for these race cars to act like they did this afternoon.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They did a lot of guessing in setting up the chassis for tonight, and we'll see a lot of adjustments made on these race cars, and those who are able to chase the track and the cars the best will be in winner's circle at the end of the race.
And now, for the most dramatic words in the world of professional sports, here is Roy Roberts.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The cars have roared to life and now get set for 400 laps of racing as the 1998 NASCAR Winston Cup season continues on ESPN. Several onboard cameras for you.
This is Jeff Bodine. Started 41st spot. Jerry Nadeau, we'll be riding along with him, the First Plus Financial Ford Taurus. Michael Waltrip, the Citgo Ford Taurus. Kyle Petty is riding the Circuit City onboard camera tonight. Rusty Wallace, Miller Genuine Draft onboard camera. Mark Martin takes the green flag.
Is for second position as Jeff Gordon has the lead. Rich Bickle working high. Sterling Marlin down low in the battle for the number 2 spot.
And Rich Bickle hanging very well there on the outside.
And here comes Sterling Marlin for the lead. Jeff Gordon's car is not off like I thought it would be.
Jeff drifts a little bit high, and that opens the door for Sterling Marlin to take the advantage.
Now Rich Bickle dives down to the inside, so before you say don't, he is back to about third spot. I'm talking about Jeff Gordon.
And then another Jeff Green runs in 4th position in his first drive, as we said, in the number 46 car.
And we see Kenny Schrader on the outside, the green car on the outside, passing Dale Jarrett on the outside. And look at Jeff Green trying to get alongside Rich Bickle. That's Green in the other green car.
So that outside groove really working right now. Look at Green going up there, trying to get around Bickle. Looks like he might be able to do it.
Green successfully wrestles the 3rd position away from Rich Bickle. Now Ken Schrader, Dale Jarrett, and Johnny Benson run behind them, as side-by-side activity here involves Kenny Wallace in 81 and the 28 of Kenny Irwin.
They're battling for the 10th and 11th spot. We see Jeff Burton, Bob, and Terry Labonte right behind them, the guys we were talking about in an opening of our show. This is a Square D Ford Taurus looking back at Jeff Burton trying to get on the inside of him.
Well, you say, well, why would they race so hard this early in the race?
At the 99 inside. Hang in there, buddy. You're doing all right.
They want to get as good a track position as they possibly can. And they think now's the time to do it.
Taking a look at the speeds in the upper left-hand corner of your screen.
Now Kenny Wallace says, okay, I couldn't do it on the outside. Burton's going to try Irwin on the inside. Let me go down and try on the inside and see what happens. But he can't get off the corner the way he needs to. Now Terry Labonte looks on the inside of him.
Jeremy Mayfield in the 12 car right behind Terry Labonte.
Leg speed getting a challenge from Bobby Labonte right behind this battle.
Looks like Kenny is going to fall down into line and maintain his position here for a moment. Looking back now on leg speed and that Cartoon Network for Taurus.
That nose looks like a cartoon, doesn't it?
What is that? You told us yesterday.
It's a blue car running to a pink birthday cake.
In celebration of NASCAR's 50th birthday. Dick Trickle and Robert Presley are working together. Then we have Joe Nemechek and Rusty Wallace. Mark Martin and Ernie Irvin are side by side.
Looking out the windshield of Mark Martin as he looks at Joe Nemechek in the Bell South car, trying to pass Rusty Wallace. But Rusty trying to pass him. They're trying to pass each other.
From the Pennzoil copter cam overhead, good side-by-side action here in the opening laps of the Pontiac Excitement 400. 11 laps are about to be completed.
Now, as these tires get warm, get hot, and these cars start slipping, it's going to be very difficult for them to do them 3 abreast there for just a moment in turn 1, but luckily they were down to 2 abreast, which is enough. Rusty's taking a look at Presley and comes up, and he has to follow Robert Presley down in turn 3.
We saw Kenny Wallace getting passed by a few cars. We understand that he has a bad push in his car. He said before the race that he had they changed a lot of things under that car after happy hour.
We've got about 15 cars running single file, and then back of that, we've got everybody shuffling for positions, running side by side, sometimes 3 abreast.
Rusty Wallace and Nemechek are still side by side. Cannot go anyplace.
Well, that is some great racing back in the pack. They're running for around 18th, 19th, and 20th. Is Bobby Labonte having a problem, Bill?
Well, he thought he was, Ned, but now they think maybe it's not a problem. What happened is that an oil pressure warning light came on. He saw it, he's talked to the crew. They think the problem is the light, not the oil pressure. They think that, and they're certainly hoping that.
He's running in 18th position right now. Meanwhile, Robert Presley got leg speed a little loose and almost a spin as Rusty Wallace, who has had bad luck in the early stages of races here, almost got spun out but saved it.
And we see Ricky Rudd on the inside of Mark Martin trying to take that spot away. Oh, and we've got Todd Bodine up just touching the wall up between 1 and 2. Looks like the right front tire is flat on that car, maybe.
Everybody scrambling to get around him, including Darrell Waltrip.
Yes, we can see the right front tire is flat. No caution.
Todd's going to make it to his pit stall. Let's take a look at what happened here as Rusty Wallace
comes up on the outside of the 77 car of Robert Presley. And I think Bobby Labonte might have just touched Robert Presley a little bit, got him a little bit loose, and Rusty thought he was going to spin into him, so he made an evasive move.
Let's go to John Curtin, who's in Todd Bodine's pit.
And they changed the right side tires. They will come around and change left side tires. Kind of a slow stop simply because of the right front being flat. They had a hard time getting the jack underneath the car. On the left side, also a problem getting the jack under the car, but they finally get it up, get the tires changed, and Todd stalls the car and refires it and heads back down pit road, but he had to have lost at least a couple of laps.
He did indeed lose 2 laps. The car on the move right now seems to be the 99 of Jeff Burton. He is up to 7th place.
And how about the 5 car of Terry Labonte right behind him in 8th spot? And Terry Labonte started in 18th position.
Labonte from
I'm sorry, 16th position.
16th spot, moved up 3 by lap 8, got 3 more by lap 12, and 2 at the 18 mark, and he passes Jeff Burton. So he now goes to the 7th position.
Moved up on the outside. Burton didn't resist him, knew that Terry was a little bit faster right now, so he let him go. Terry Labonte has a fast race car.
So now there is Rich Bickle, Ken Schrader, and Dale Jarrett as they contest 4th, 5th, and 6th.
And it looks like Schrader's going to take the 4th position from Rich Bickle.
A brand new race car, and that 33 car, and we hear about taking these new cars to Greenville, Pickens, other racetracks and testing them. They built the car, loaded it, and brought it to the track.
Boy, it's performing well.
It sure is. Ken Schrader is running 4th. The leader of the race is Sterling Marlin, with Jeff Gordon running in 2nd, Jeff Green 3rd, then Schrader and Bickle, as nearly 100,000 look on tonight. The Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond. Welcome back to Richmond. Sterling Marlin has led 25 laps so far in all of 1998 to this point. He's led 15, led 13 at Talladega, and 2 in the Daytona 500. It's also the second race that he has led here at Richmond, but not since 1987. So Sterling Marlin has about a 0.3 of a second lead on Jeff Gordon. Here is the battle for the 6th position, and Bickle, Labonte, and Burton have been going at it hot and heavy.
They really have. Terry Labonte finally gets the best of Bickle, it looks like, but they have rubbed together, touched each other, and finally Labonte made the pass.
Now Jeff Burton's going to try to do the same thing, but could not get the run. Now he's got the run off turn 4.
Looks like the handle has gone away a little bit on Bickle's car.
Rich started in 2nd spot now and loses 7th to Jeff Burton. These guys have been going at it and trying to pass each other. Here's what happened in an attempt a few laps ago.
Labonte was down on the inside as they came off of turn 2, and they actually made contact, and Benny, that could cut a tire down very easily.
With ease. That's probably what happened to Todd Bodine's right front tire.
There's Chad Little now getting up into the mix. He's running in 9th spot and trying to take 8th away from Rich Bickle. There's Jeff Burton, and Bill Weber has an update on Jeff.
Well, a little bit of bad luck, but a lot of good luck for Jeff Burton as his car was preparing the Excite-4 to go through inspection. They looked at the left rear wheel hub and found out that on the hub where they wanted to put the lug nuts on one of the studs, where that stud went right through the hole on the hub. So they had to change out the entire hub. They got that car on the grid less than 20 minutes before the command to start engines. They were fortunate they found the problem then instead of 10 laps in.
We noticed during the last half hour before the race started that several cars were late getting through inspection, including Jeff Gordon.
And Jerry Nadeau, the first Plus Financial car we see, trying to make it to the garage area, obviously not under power, so he will more than likely be the first car out tonight.
Nadeau, one of the rookie contenders in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series in 1998. There was 1st and 2nd, and here's back to 3rd now as Schrader has 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like the 46 car of Jeff Green is being passed by Terry Labonte. His car seems to have gone away a little bit now that we've run 35 laps of this race. And we suspected we would see some of that happen after they ran for a while. And there's Jarrett trying to pass Schrader.
And look at Terry Labonte versus Sterling Marlin. We see Marlin ran 22.749. Terry Labonte 22.591, 16/1600ths of a second faster. And in auto racing, that's an eternity, 1600ths of a second.
You can't say it that fast, but it is an eternity.
So now Labonte closes in on Jarrett and Schrader.
Kenny Schrader's getting the high groove to work a little bit for him. Last night in the NASCAR Busch Series race, he debuted ran the second race this year in the Busch Series, and he ran the high groove all night last night.
So Jarrett makes the pass. Now Terry Labonte comes down on the inside of Schrader.
Richmond This could have been a good racetrack for Dale Jarrett in recent events. John Kernan has a couple of updates. John?
Jerry Nadeau just pulled his car into the garage area. They broke a rear end gear. And updating you on Todd Bodine, he apparently got into somebody's fender out there on the racetrack, clipped the valve stem off. All the air came out of it. That's what caused his right front tire to go flat.
And he's 3 laps down now as a result of having to make that green flag pit stop.
Rusty Wallace trying to get to the inside of Lake Speed. The battle for 17th position. Rusty reporting that his car is very tight in the corners.
He's running about 11 3/4 of a second behind Sterling Marlin.
Johnny Benson moving up, trying to get to the inside of Rich Bickle, and if he does, he'll take over the 9th position. So Bickle, who started in 2nd, now finds himself trying to hang on to a top 10. Oh, a little rub there.
Goes in the corner and said, oh, just move up a little bit because I need some more room. And now Rich Bickle wisely is going to let him go, I think. Yeah, spoke too soon, I guess.
Jeff Green and Chad Little are also involved in a pretty good race here. That's for 7th position.
And Chad goes up, takes a spot away.
While all that was going on, Terry Labonte passed Dale Jarrett for 3rd. Jeff Green's car, the 46 First Union Chevrolet, seems to have lost a little bit of the grip that it had coming off the turns in the early laps.
Johnny Benson, after missing the Daytona 500, has put together 7 finishes of 9th or better in the past 11 races. And Bickle still seems to be a little loose there in the corner.
It's really hard to tell when he goes in the corner. He goes up the racetrack like Jeff Green is, but we don't know if the car just won't turn and goes up there. That's called pushing, or if the back end's trying to come around and he's just kind of chasing that back end up the racetrack.
Benson's able to stay down very low on the racetrack. Gets up beside of him. Lets him know he's there.
My guess is that most of these cars are starting to push or getting tight because they practiced this afternoon when it was 80 degrees, the track temperature 127, and now it's cooled off to the 70 degrees. The track temperature is probably cooled off 20 degrees.
Still a great side-by-side battle there all the way around the racetrack. Jeff Green just refuses to relinquish that spot to Johnny Benson. And now looks like he's going to be able to do it.
Had to work for it.
Sure did. There you see 39 cars on the lead lap. A couple of cars are 1 lap down. Todd Bodine 3 laps down, and Jerry Nadeau is off the track. Napa Field Summary will show you the manufacturer's battle as of now. Boy, a great battle between Chevy and Ford. Chevy has 92 points and Ford 91. And here's our Ford leaderboard with Jarrett, Burton, Little, Benson, and Bickle all running in the top 10. The Chevy board, there you see the other 5 positions. And Pontiac, their best is Bobby Labonte at the moment, who's back in 20th position.
And this is the Pontiac Excitement 400.
That's
so
right. They need to get going. So far, Chevy, namely Jeff Gordon and Sterling Marlin, have led all the laps so far.
And we see Terry Labonte continue to march towards the front in Kellogg Chevrolet number 5. When he got up to 5th place, he was 3.5 seconds behind the leader. But right now, he's just a fraction over 2 seconds behind. So coming through traffic, he is gaining on Sterling Marlin.
Still Sterling Marlin, however, at the front of the field. He has about a half-second advantage over Jeff Gordon as we watch some of this racing behind them. There is Sterling. 50 laps are in the books in the Pontiac Excitement 400. About a half-second lead over Jeff Gordon. Then comes Terry Labonte, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Burton. We'll be right back with more from Richmond International. Beautiful overhead shot of this facility here in Henrico County, Virginia, just outside the city limits of Richmond. The Pennzoil copter cam with a great view of this 3/4 mile track. Well, the temperature continues to fall, BP. It was about 74.5 earlier. Now it's down to about 71, looks like.
And that's right. And the cooler it gets, the tighter these cars are going to get, the more difficult they are to handle. Let's check in the Tabasco hot zone, see what kind of RPM and what kind of miles per hour Jeff Bodine will be able to get. This is going down into turn 3. It'll accelerate the front stretch, and we see how the RPM indicator just zooms up to almost 8,800 RPMs. This is the tightest part of the racetrack. Down in 1 and 2, we'll see it goes down to 90 miles per hour. And he goes down in the corner, and we'll see how difficult the car's going up the racetrack. He's turning. Not doing a lot of turning. With radial tires, you don't do a lot of turning. You don't chase the cars like you used to with the bi-sply tires.
Here's Mark Martin coming towards the front in the 6th car. He's trying to take over 10th now from Rich Bickle, who started on the outside pole in the Thorn-Apple Valley Ford number 98. Mark having a little trouble getting around. Coming off turn 2 now, heading down into turn 3.
By the way, Jerry Nadeau, who was behind the wall, is back in the race. He is 28 laps down.
And Mark Martin successfully makes the pass on Rich Bickle. Takes over the 10th spot. He's about 8.5 seconds behind the leader, Sterling Marlin.
Meanwhile, the lead has tightened up as Sterling Marlin now has Jeff Gordon with about a car length separating them or less.
And look at Terry Labonte. He's coming right in there on him, too. And look who's up in front of him, the 3 and 4 car of Dale Earnhardt and Bobby Hamilton racing side by side. They're back there in 34th and 35th position.
Bobby Hamilton won on a short track earlier this year. And of course, Dale Earnhardt, the winner of the Daytona 500. John Kernan has more on Dale Earnhardt.
Bob, early in the race, after starting 38th, Earnhardt knocked off 6 or 7 positions. But then, right before Todd Bodine had his problem with the tire, Earnhardt got into somebody. I don't know if he got into Bodine or not with his left front. What it's done is done some fender damage and also knocked the toe out of the car. So the 3 crew right now desperately hoping for a caution so Earnhardt can stay on the lead lap and that they can get him into the pits under caution with the yellow out and set the toe right. So right now, he's got quite a handful as he battles to stay on the lead lap.
Indeed, he's back in the 35th position and just about to go a lap down. Meanwhile, we're on board with Kyle Petty.
There's the Circuit City onboard camera as he has caught the 33 car of Ken Schrader. Meanwhile, back up front, Sterling Marlin, Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, Dale Jarrett, all nose to tail, the first 4 cars.
And now Dale Earnhardt is going to go a lap down here as the top 4 are behind him. Sterling Marlin makes the pass. This traffic has really closed up these top 4. Now Jeff Gordon tries to get around, and Jerry Punch has a report on the 88 of Dale Jarrett.
Interesting how rapidly these drivers can adjust, and that's a sign of a great race car driver, or at least a smart race car driver. When Terry Labonte came by Dale Jarrett a little while ago, Dale's car was starting to go away just a little bit. Todd Parrott said, basically, follow the 5 car. Let's go groove hunting out there. Let's find us a line. Let's go low for a lap or 2. Let's go high for a lap or 2. DJ followed the 5 car and now has settled in right behind him. Apparently, from listening to the radios, what the drivers are fighting are 2 problems. It is getting cooler, as we showed you, which makes the cars tighter. But, like we saw last night, they're also wearing the sealer off the track, which is making these cars get looser and looser. Some of the crew chiefs think the sealer situation is going to be the more severe, so the cars will eventually begin to get looser as the night wears on. When
the car is getting looser, Jerry Punch was talking about the right rear tire is sliding. But if the car has some push in it and that sealer goes away, then that right front tire is going to start sliding across the racetrack, and the push will be more pronounced than before.
Well, now instead of the top 4 cars running together, here comes Jeff Burton up, and he'll make it a 5-car battle.
Yeah, while they were battling with Earnhardt there, putting him a lap down, Burton had dropped about 1.5 seconds behind, but now he's closed it right up.
Sterling Marlin, 24 races here at Richmond, 2 top 5s. His first was back in 1988. 6 top 10 finishes here, and his average finish is 18.4. Sterling Marlin has led 68 of the first 70 laps, with Jeff Gordon leading the other 2, and now Terry Labonte is taking second place away from Jeff Gordon and may bring Dale with him. Where the 3 Hendrick racing cars are. Randy LaJoie running back in 30th position after a 28th place start. And Gordon looks like he's going to fall to 4th.
Not yet, but maybe it's coming off of turn 4. That's where Jarrett seems to have a pretty good run coming off of there. He's able to keep his car right down on the bottom of the racetrack. Still hasn't cleared Gordon.
Jarrett's car right now looks like he's handling better than most all the cars right now, Ned, because you're right. He's able to keep that car down closer to that yellow line than anyone.
Wow, look at this. Jeff Green, Bill Elliott, Joe Nemechek, Lake Speed all going for it, and they're battling back here for 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
And so forth.
Yes.
And they're about 3/4 of a lap behind the leaders.
Spencer also racing with the group, as is Jeff Bodine. 6 cars here running together.
Well, Lake Speed is going to make it 3 abreast there for a second, and I didn't think that was going to work too good.
Back in the Tabasco hot zone, Jeff Bodine with this contest for position up ahead of him.
Darrell Waltrip is in the pits, and the Pennzoil car number 1. That's the earliest pit stop that we've seen, 75 laps. He's going out of the pits actually now.
And I would imagine a lot of teams are very interested in the tire wear that the Pennzoil Chevrolet is getting.
Yep, I think you're right. They'll go down and look and see how it was.
Jeff Green goes up the racetrack. Lake Speed gets by, but he opened the door for Jimmy Spencer. Jimmy said, I think I'll go on in. Ooh, here comes Jeff Bodine. He's trying to do the same thing. He's trying to kick the door open.
And Terry Labonte has caught Sterling Marlin.
Jeff Burton has caught Jeff Gordon.
The Gordon car seems to have gone away a little bit.
And Jeff Gordon's car was one of the last cars on the line, so they adjusted on this car right up to the last second. But what they did evidently is not working perfectly because Jeff Burton takes the spot.
Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon racing for 4th position here, and now a half a car length advantage for Jeff Burton as they race toward turn number 1 and a successful pass. So Jeff Gordon, who led the first 2 laps of this race, now falls back to 5th spot. Terry Labonte putting all kinds of heat on the leader Sterling Marlin, and also right there behind Terry Labonte is Dale Jarrett. We'll be right back. Do we have a new leader? We have a new 2nd place car also. Terry Labonte has taken the Kellogg Chevy to the front, and Dale Jarrett in the Quality Care Ford has taken 2nd position. Here's how Terry got the lead from Sterling.
Comes off turn 4 and just got on the inside and got that position and goes down in turn 1, takes the spot away. And a couple of laps later, Dale Jarrett did the same thing. Meanwhile, Michael Waltrip has been able to get it, has hit someone, and he's got the left front fender knocked in on the tire, so he's on pit road.
Here he comes down pit road with smoke trailing from the car with the tire rub.
He's banged somebody pretty good, hasn't he?
He has.
And Rick Master just going out of the pits. He made a pit stop.
He was also smoking. Don't know whether that was from a mechanical problem or a tire rubbing, but in any case, the Sitco team is hard at work on Michael Waltrip's machine, getting it ready to go back out. John Kernan is right there.
They're changing the left side tires, pulling the sheet metal away. He had gotten into, from what I could see here on the front straightaway, got into the back of the 36 car. You can see the left front of the air dam is pushed in. They pulled the sheet metal away from Michael's car, and he has gone out onto the racetrack. Now, the 75 car, Rick Mass, was leaking fluid onto the racetrack. First they thought it was water. He came into the pits. They found out, yeah, it was an oil leak, so they sent him to the garage area.
And I guess it was a 36. We see the damage back on the right rear portion of the bumper of that Skittles Pontiac.
And he just went a lap down.
And Waltrip comes out just ahead of. Well, Terry Labonte is leading for the 17th time here at Richmond International Raceway. This is his 40th race. There's Terry Labonte looking back on the leader of the race from Michael Waltrip's onboard camera. Jeff Green is going a lap down.
Boy, he was up there in the top 5 about 60 laps ago.
Let's take a look at what happened to Michael Waltrip. We have a replay from his onboard.
Okay, he's going down the backstretch into turn 3. There's the Skittles Pontiac that we're talking about up in front of him. Oh, and Ernie gets loose and drifts up the racetrack, and I'm surprised that Michael Waltrip did not spin that 36 car when he made that contact.
And the 44 car of Kyle Petty is in for a pit stop. John Kernan.
And they added a couple of rounds of wedge to Kyle Petty's car. Apparently loose, trying to tighten it up. Right sides are already changed through, coming around the left side. Having a problem getting the car up on the left side with the jack. They slam the tires on, finally hit it with the gun, the left that's with the gun. And the crew is finished with their work, and Kyle goes out too. Now a battle for the lead.
Indeed, Dale Jarrett to the inside of Terry Labonte as they go down the backstretch, and the slower car of Derek Cope could play a factor here as Jarrett and Labonte go into the corner side by side and come out that way.
Terry Labonte chose to go on the outside of the 30 car, but the 30 car is running in that groove, so Labonte just can't get by it. So when he left that opening, Dale Jarrett drove down there, and he's trying to take the lead, and here comes Darrell Waltrip. He's trying to get one of his 4 laps back.
Darrell has fresh tires on his car number 1, and he's a little bit faster than the leaders right now.
He is 4 laps down, trying to get back one of them here. Jeff Green, who we mentioned was lapped a few seconds ago, has come in for a pit stop. Johnny Benson and Sterling Marlin now as Benson takes the 3rd position.
Kevin LePage in the 96 car.
And a battle here behind the 96 car involves Gordon and Burton. Gordon goes around him into 5th.
And a battle for the lead as Jarrett tries on the outside, and this time does it with ease. So put Jarrett in the lead.
He becomes our 4th leader of the evening. Gordon, Labonte, and Sterling Marlin has led the most laps, 78.
Terry Labonte was the points leader after 12 races last year. This year you can see he's in 6th place.
John Andretti is in. John Kernan watching that pit stop.
And they'll go up on the track bar, changing all 4 tires. Andretti was one of the faster cars the first practice session on Friday, but then they just more or less lost something. Were not able to get it back. A pretty good pit stop for Andretti. That was under 20 seconds, about 19 seconds for Green.
Andretti takes the STP Pontiac slowly down pit road, back into the race. Dale Jarrett is the leader now.
And I tell you what, this short track program has really turned around. You see in 32 career short track races, the first 16 no wins, the last 16 2 wins, but 10 top 5s in the last 16 races.
And 11 top 10. So indeed the Jarrett short track program is on track.
Alive and well.
Yes.
But those guys better not look too far behind them, because Johnny Benson, folks, is coming. He's just 1 second behind the leader.
And he was about 4 seconds behind him not too long ago.
Benson has dropped Sterling Marlin to 4th. Jeff Gordon running in 5th position at the moment. There are the top 10. We have completed almost 1/4 of this race already. No caution so far in the Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond International Raceway. ESPN Speed World tonight at Richmond International Raceway, as about 100,000 race fans have gathered for this first night race in the springtime. And we still have great battling going on out on the track. Here are the Roush Racing cars and where they are on short track points earned in 1998. You see Ted Musgrave has earned the most among the Roush Racing team. He's 3rd in points. Now let's see where all these guys are running right now. But the guy to look is Johnny Benson. He has passed Terry Labonte and gone to 2nd.
No, he has passed Dale Jarrett and gone to 1st.
Has he? Wow.
Wow, there is their leader of the race, Johnny Benson, the Cheerios Ford Taurus. Dale Jarrett is 2nd, and now Terry Labonte is back to 3rd. And right in front of this is a wreck trying to find somewhere to happen.
That's the truth. There, a bunch of cars really been going at it out there. Some of them have made pit stops on new tires. The 43 car has made a pit stop, and I think Ernie Irwin has in the 36 car, and they have really been going. Look at Benson go between them, splits them. Sterling Marlin has been in for a pit stop. He was he led the race for a long, long time.
Well, Benson is trying to lap the 9 car of Lake Speed, who is running in 21st position. Dick Trickle has come in for a pit stop in the Heilig Myers car.
As Ward Burton goes out of the pits in the MBNA Pontiac.
Bill Weber can see this pit stop by Dick Trickle.
And Trickle has struggled. They will make a chassis adjustment. He's already got right side tires. He'll swing around to the left, bolt on left side tires. Fill it with fuel, send him back out on the track. 109 laps on the board. Guys losing precious laps here under green, hoping they don't get...
Coach, watch speed. Watch speed. 4200, 2nd gear.
Good to see car owner Junie Donlevy here at the racetrack for the first time in a while.
Bobby Labonte comes down pit road as we ride with him to his pits. Bill Weber.
And Labonte in off the impressive run at Dover 1 week ago. He also will get right side tires. All these will be 4 tire stops. Never take a chance with 2 tires at Richmond, except maybe very late in the race. Jeremy Mayfield slides by on his right-hand side while he continues to get his left side tires. Peter Gellin topping out the tank. Fuel mileage could be a factor. Took a long time on the left rear. The Interstate Pontiac is on its way. Very fun.
Further down pit road, Jeremy Mayfield getting routine service on his right side. As we're watching the 81 crew now work on the left side. Back to the Mayfield car. Left side tires going on. The second place car down the way from Kenny Wallace. Back to the 12. Mayfield left side tires on. He is down and away.
Frantic activity in the pit area, matching the great racing that we've seen on the track so far. Bill Elliott and Jeff Bodine both making their ways back out onto the racing surface. Riding along with Jeff as he picks up speed and rejoins the fray.
Dave Marcus coming out of the pits in the Realtree Chevrolet.
Johnny Benson now with more than a 3/4 second lead on Dale Jarrett. Here's how Benson took the lead away from Dale.
Traffic. Jarrett got in the traffic, had to get out of the gasoline a little bit. Benson got on the inside and just away he went.
Chad Little is in. Bill Weber.
One of Benson's teammates already right sides on, slight air pressure adjustment, fuel going in. They expect this car to get even better as the night goes along, but they struggle on the left rear, losing precious seconds. Now Chad Little returns to the race. Rusty Wallace is on pit road. He pulls to the left and pulls into his pit stall. Also expecting Ken Schrader to pull in soon. Right side tires for Wallace. 17 top 10s in the last
18 races here for Rusty, but this has not been one of his best weekends. Swinging around to the left side, fuel going in, waiting on the left side tires. Right now, Ken Schrader around Wallace. He will slide into his pit stall. Schrader had been very loose early in the race, but the car has tightened up nicely. They will only make a slight air pressure adjustment in the right rear tire. The right sides are bolted on. Now they'll shove the second can of fuel in. Come around to the left side. The lug nuts come off. These are sticker tires going on for Schrader, waiting for the lug to be tightened. Good stuff for these guys. Schrader's away. Gordon's on pit road. Here's Jerry.
Our pole sitter, Jeff Gordon, makes his first pit stop of the night. He had been complaining that the car had gotten tighter and tighter. He said it was tight in the middle and even tighter off. They now will make a major chassis adjustment in the right rear, change all 4 tires, and hopefully very, very easily be able to correct the problem so Gordon can get the car to turn coming off the corner. Left side tires are on. He slaps it in gear and pulls away. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Another Roush car with a strong run. This would be Ted Musgrave on pit road. Will be a chassis adjustment for Musgrave. 2 rounds to the right side. Now they'll come around to the left side. Musgrave getting his tires. One starts to get away. They get some help from the 33 bunch. Sticker tires for Musgrave. He's away. 3 stalls in front of him. His teammate Jeff Burton is on pit road. Burton, of course, won the Busch race here last night, and they learned some valuable information in that race, which all the Roush guys could be using here tonight. Already got his right side tires. Now he's getting left sides. Now their other Roush car, Johnny Benson, is on pit road. He was the race leader. He's in front of Jerry Punch.
Right side tires on our leader's car for Johnny Benson. The car running, they made a chassis adjustment in the right rear, a slight track bar adjustment. Crew now dashing to the left side of the Cheerios Ford cars. The Steve Neal-led crew. Left front tire, left rear tire. As he gets ready to leave, here comes Dale Jarrett in the pits, and Benson and Jarrett just missed. Let's go to John Kirk.
A 4-tire change for Terry Labonte, who had worked his way from 16th to the lead. They make a chassis adjustment and a car in the wall. Robert Presley, the caution is out, and the 88's caught in the pit also. The 5 car finally gets down pit road as the Jerry Punch.
Slight air pressure adjustment in the left rear as the caution does come out. The 77 car is stopped against the wall, just coming out of turn 4 as Jarrett gets pulled away. They made a 4-tire change. He was sitting in the pits when the caution came out.
So is Mark Martin. His caution coming at a very inopportune time for a lot of drivers.
But a very opportune time for most everybody else had stopped, and those cars that were caught on pit road were the last of the cars to on the lead lap to pit, so it's going to put a lot more cars back in the lead lap.
And there we see the contact between Michael Waltrip and the 77 car, which caused Robert Presley to smack that wall with the right front of his car.
And the first caution of the evening comes out on lap 120. There's Robert Presley. The window netting is down. He's okay. From Michael Waltrip's onboard camera, let's look at the replay.
There we see he's on Bobby Labonte goes by. Robert Presley's got to be going by as well. And right here, Presley thinks he's got it cleared. Tries to go back up the racetrack to get his angle of turn 3, but unfortunately, Michael Waltrip's left front was there.
And there was damage earlier to the right front of that car. Now there's damage more severe to it. Caution out for the first time here in Richmond. Back in a moment. Stay with us. The Pontiac Excitement 400 here at Richmond is under its first caution of the evening on lap 124, and the Pennzoil Copter Cam is showing you the field behind the pace car. Tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 Pacific on ABC Sports. It's the ITT Automotive Detroit Grand Prix from Belle Isle in Detroit. Point leader Alex Zanardi takes on defending champion Greg Moore, who's finished in the top 6 in all the FedEx Championship Series races so far. That's tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time on ABC Sports. Jerry Punch.
Under the caution flag, the car number 40 of Sterling Marlin decided to come back down pit road, although he had just pitted about 20 laps ago. And actually the reason he came in was this. He had to pit on lap 104. The other leaders came in between laps 118 and 122. he has about a 15-lap disadvantage because he's not getting that good of fuel mileage. And Tony Glover decided to make the call and bring him back down pit road. Now, also a moment ago, Dale Jarrett pitted, came back in. The reason for his pit stop was because he was sitting on pit road when the caution came out and left so quickly. There were only 3 lug nuts on the left rear. He said, we're not taking any chances at all. We're going to bring you back in and put the other 2 back on. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Terry Labonte also pitting on the same lap, and his car was just a little bit loose into the turns, loose off, so they made a couple of adjustments, a minor air pressure adjustments on the left side, and they also added some wedge to help that car out, and the handling should tighten it up just a little bit. Michael Waltrip is back on pit road after the contact he had. They've had to tear away part of the left front fender. Now the crew taping the nose to the hood. Michael likely will be in one more time, but the amazing thing about Michael is he's still on the lead lap. Bill Weber?
Well, you try not to get too excited watching some of these guys from pit road, but a great night for Ken Schrader and for Chad Little. 19.1 seconds for the guys for pitting Andy Petrie's car. Of course, he owned Schrader's car. That's a nice, solid stop. And we saw Chad Little's guys struggle a little bit on the left rear. Actually, they had trouble getting the jack under the left side of the car, so that cost them precious seconds. But still, Schrader is 5th, and Chad Little is running 6th. Now, Bobby Labonte was 14th on the racetrack after the caution came out. He opted to come onto pit road and get 4 fresh tires, just a handful of laps fresher than everybody else, but he's hoping that strategy will get him a little closer to the front of the field. He had a great race at Dover coming from the rear 1 week ago. We'll see how this works here tonight.
Bobby Labonte tightening the belts, getting ready for the restart. Here's why we're under the current caution.
Once again, the blue car on the right side of your screen. Robert Presley goes, he thinks he's clear of Michael Waltrip. He goes up the hill to get back in line, and guess what? Michael was there and turned that Jasper engine car in the wall.
Right along with Michael Waltrip, and you saw that just what Benny said. He thought he was clear, and he wasn't.
127 laps are in the books now under caution here. Terry Labonte is your leader, followed by Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Johnny Benson, and Ken Schrader. No longer just a regional sport for race fans in the southeastern United States, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series has evolved into a big business, captivating the attention of race fans nationwide. In the 50th anniversary year of NASCAR, brought to you by Coca-Cola Classic, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Richmond International Raceway offers fans the intimacy of a short track and the excitement of a super speedway. Lee Petty won the first NASCAR race here in 1953. It was here in 1967 that Richard Petty would tie his father's record of 54 victories. Between the spring and fall races in 1988, track owner Paul Sawyer set out to redesign the facility and build a new one in its place. The result, one of the most modern tracks on the Winston Cup circuit. Some 83,000 seats now encircle the three-quarter-mile track. And Richmond International Raceway continues to give us the unique blend of short track action with super speedway thrills. Pride and joy of the Sawyer family here in Richmond. Just a tremendous facility and one of the most fan-friendly that you will ever find. Jerry?
We told you Jeff Gordon had a problem with a severe push on the car. That means the car will not turn in the corner. And Benny mentioned the right front tire would wear out. Well, this is the right front tire off Jeff Gordon's DuPont Chevrolet. Take a look. The cords are actually showing on the inside shoulder of the right front tire. He didn't have a lot of time left. Hopefully they have fixed that push. We're going green, Bob.
Yes, indeed. The green flag comes out, and the leader of the race is Terry Labonte. Several cars, however, ahead of him on the racetrack.
And many of those are in the lead lap. They're almost a lap.
Clear eye, clear eye. Back.
And the others trying to get back on the lead lap.
Mark Martin is running in second spot. Johnny Benson is third. Then Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett. And Jeff Burton slow coming off the corner.
He might have just got him out of the groove. We'll have to look at him here for a little bit and see what. I don't know.
It's okay now, huh?
Bobby Labonte, the food line onboard camera, watches Jeff Burton going the corner on the outside of him, so it looks like he is back up to speed.
Burton is running in 13th position.
Labonte trying to take that away. Well, we understand there's no problem recorded.
And Johnny Benson got on the inside of Jeff Gordon down in 1 and 2. Could not quite make the pass. We see Mark Martin, our second place car. There's third and fourth, and now Ernie Irvin trying to go by Benson on the outside. Irvin is in fact the car a lap down. And here comes Jeff right on the back bumper of Mark Martin.
There are 23 cars on the lead lap.
Brett Bodine is in the 23rd position in the car number 11, and he was about to go a lap down. You saw him in the picture there with Terry Labonte almost up beside him there a moment ago.
Second place, Mark Martin. We're riding with him, looking back on third place. Jeff Gordon.
And something is wrong with Benson. We saw him up there beside Jeff Gordon just a moment ago. He's fallen back 4 or 5 car lengths. So evidently, his car did not like that chassis adjustment they made on the pit stop. Or if they made one, possibly needed to make one.
He is in a battle there with Chad Little for the 5th position, his teammate.
Well, on his other long run there, it was towards the end of that long run when he was really good. And so the car might be a little bit tight. I would guess that it's too tight here right now.
Well, it is. They're going to black flag the 98 of Rich Bickle's got something dragging there on the left rear.
Yeah, it looks like there's something, Jerry.
That is the overflow tank that they make them now run for the radiator overflow. It's inside the left rear fender, and actually what happened is he had some fender damage, and now that tank has come loose and was bobbing and dragging on the racetrack. As you said, Bob, NASCAR is going to black flag him and bring him in. It really isn't creating a hazard right now, but they're hoping to stay out and maybe get a caution flag as one car, apparently the 75 car, showing a lot of smoke on the racetrack.
Well, he was earlier tonight and now brings it behind the wall. Rick Mast used a provisional to get into this race here tonight. He was one of 5 drivers who had not taken a provisional this year. Now there are only 4.
There's Terry Labonte. He's the leader. That's Ward Burton in car 22 right in front of him. Ward is in 20th position, now about to go a lap down.
And the other 4 drivers who have not taken provisionals so far in the 1998 NASCAR Winston Cup season are Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, John Andretti, and Dale Jarrett. But you can see that all of them have some rather bad starts here. Wallace, worst start was 23rd, and Jarrett's worst start was 36th. It's amazing, though, to think that only 4 drivers have not taken provisionals here, as we're in 13 races again that season.
If that was the end of the year, or 13 races to go, it wouldn't look. But here, just after 13 races, that is amazing.
Yep.
Shows you how tough it is in qualifying.
Mark Martin, the 3rd place car, trying to get by late speed. Meanwhile, there's Kenny Schrader in the 33 Skoda car. He's back in 4th spot, and Benson is now 5th.
Let's check the speed at the line as they cross over. Terry Labonte, the only driver over 120 miles an hour.
But he's out there in clear sailing right there. No cars where many of those others are back in heavy traffic.
Dale Jarrett, the 3rd fastest.
And he was in heavy traffic.
Yeah, he's back in 10th spot. Once again, there is Jeff Gordon, who is running 2nd, and Mark Martin, who is 3rd.
Schrader, he's in 4th place.
And we have the lap cars of Blake Speed and Derek Cope, and then go back to the 5th running, Johnny Benson.
And Rich Bickle, the outside pole sitter, Thornapple Valley Ford Taurus on pit road. Unscheduled pit stop. Jerry?
And they had told Rich if he didn't come in this time, they would stop scoring him. He was hoping to get a caution flag. They come in, and they're that overflow tank, and they're trying to pull it. They pull, and they snip it. He's down and away. They were going to cut him, but a guy grabbed him with his left hand and just snapped a little plastic tube, and he is away.
Knocked him back on his heels, but got the job done. And Bickle is back in competition.
And boy, did he come back in competition right in the middle of a lot of cars.
Okay, we left off with Benson there in the 26 car, who's in 5th spot. We drop back to his teammate, the John Deere car driven by Chad Little. He's having a good run in 6th position.
Jeremy Mayfield, the Mobile 1 Ford Taurus, is the next car. You'll see, is that smoking back there?
Yep. Under a caution, he had contact with Dave Marcus. And that's resulted in a little bit of tire rub.
Jarrett's trying to go by Rusty Wallace. That 4th position would be for the 8th spot.
Jarrett dropped back to 12th when he came in for those 3 lug nuts, so to put on those extra 2 lug nuts. He only had 2 on there, or 3 on there, and needed 2 more.
Kenny Irwin in the 28 car is involved in this battle also. He's running in 10th position. He made his NASCAR Winston Cup debut here last year in the fall race at Richmond.
And the 40 and the 99 back behind these cars. Sterling Marlin, Jeff Burton. 2 cars who ran so well at the very beginning of this race. And Kenny Irwin is doing a great job tonight. Keeping that Texco Star close to these cars. And Rusty Wallace and Jeremy Mayfield all of a sudden looks like there's some smoke in Jeremy Mayfield's car. This guy that's second in the point standings appears to be smoking. Smoke to see there is Jimmy Spencer, but I didn't see anything. I thought I saw some smoke out of Jeremy's car, but he is losing positions.
Yes, he is. That smoke still coming from Spencer's car.
NASCAR's keeping a close eye on Jimmy Spencer.
Rusty got back by Dale Jarrett there just a lap ago. Jarrett was on the inside, ran up behind Dave Marcus, had to back off, and you see that smoke again on Spencer's car.
Well, Martin appears to be closing in on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon.
Still hadn't heard much of Martin here tonight, but he is in 3rd place and closing in on 2nd.
Steve Grissom on the outside of these 2 cars. Good bunch.
Let me show you the animal that caused that stop and go on the pits. I'm going to go for Rich Bickle. This is simply an overflow tank, and they just pulled this tube here and ripped it in half. Let me show you where it was scraping the racetrack. The bottom of this tank was rubbing the racetrack and already had a hole in it, so any water in here had already come out. It was sort of bobbing against the racetrack. Fortunately, they were able to rip it off without losing any more valuable time here in the pits.
Terry Labonte has about a 1 1/3 second advantage over 2nd place Jeff Gordon.
Well, here's a battle going on between Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte, and Jeremy Mayfield. Burton in the 99 car, Mayfield in 12, and Bobby Labonte in the green number 18. They're battling for 11th, 12th, and 13th.
I don't see smoke out of the 12 car right now, so it might have been residual smoke from Benson's car that I was seeing just a moment ago. Bill Weber?
There's clearly some kind of flame visible from pit road underneath the 12 car. Jeremy has not said anything about it. Some speculation down on his pit. It could be a piece of rubber burning. It's hard to see from the camera angle, but you can clearly see it standing here on pit road. There's a glow of flame underneath the 12 car.
Yeah, we can see it, Bill, under the car when he goes in the corner. Right in the middle of the corner, right in the middle of the car, I should say, you'll see a flame in there.
Yep.
So something is amiss. There's no doubt about that.
He has lost several positions in the last few laps. He's back to 12th.
Could that be a broken exhaust pipe?
Could be. I don't really know.
Bill, you got any more information?
Benny and Ned, they think it's some kind of piece of rubber underneath there, either used in there for a suspension piece or maybe something holding a piece into place. But they're hoping that it will just actually burn itself out.
It's not spark. It's not metal that's dragging the racetrack. Otherwise, it would be in a spark mark. But in fact, it's fire under the car.
Well, it's 159 laps so far completed in this race. We have had 5 leaders and 7 lead changes. Sterling Marlin has still led the most laps, 81, but right now it is Terry Labonte on top. He's led 52. Welcome you back to Richmond International Raceway, where the Pontiac Excitement 400 is 166 laps in. We're riding with Jeff Bodine, looking back on the leader of the race, Terry Labonte, who has about a 3/4 second lead on Jeff Gordon.
And remember that incident he had with, was it Rich Bickle early on in the race? Look at the damage to the right front fender on Terry Labonte's car as a result of that, just making slight contact with Rich Bickle.
Now he's trying to get around Jeff Bodine and put him 2 laps down. He just passed, as you can see there on the right of your screen, Bill Elliott, who was running in 19th position, so there are now 18 cars on the lead lap. In the Tabasco hot zone with Jeff Bodine.
As he tries his best to stay in the lead lap down in turn 1, up to almost 140 miles per hour. Now on the brakes hard. Only got down to 94 miles per hour as he accelerates off turn 2, going to 3. And we can see just the difference up to 130 miles per hour, 10 mile per hour difference in the straightaways.
You can see several tire marks on the Terry Labonte car. Going 2 laps down is Jeff Bodine. And there you see Jeff Gordon has gotten around Mark Martin now and taken over second. And Gordon is moving in on Labonte. There are the 3 leaders. Labonte, Gordon in the 24 car, Mark Martin in the number 6.
On board with Mark Martin, who has 1 win here at Richmond. He won this race in 1990.
Labonte finally gets by Jeff Bodine, and Jeff Bodine's going to try to come back on the inside.
Boy, Terry Labonte don't want to see that. He said, I need this clear track out here to be running. Actually said that Mark Martin was catching Jeff Gordon a little while ago. He's been back there in 3rd all along, but he's staying right with him.
Yeah, he's not anymore.
There we go. Mark Martin moves to 2nd. We mentioned earlier that Kevin LePage is in David Green's car tonight. John Kernan has caught up with David.
And David is watching the race from the pits. David, injuring your shoulder last week in that crash at Dover. How are you?
John, I feel pretty good. You know, today was a good practice for us. And team decided right there before happy hour to give me a break. So I feel good. My arm moves good. Look forward to Michigan next week.
And you're also going to test next week at Daytona, right?
Yeah, Monday night.
David Green will definitely be back in the car at Daytona Monday night after he visits with the doctor on Monday morning to check out his shoulder with a bruise there. And you'll recall he also broke his shoulder. In fact, you can kind of see the pads on the back of his shirt where the bruise is. And he's getting some shock treatment to make it feel a little bit better. But he says he'll be ready to go next week at Michigan.
Napa Field Summary is showing you the point positions as of right now. Johnny Benson is up 4 spots. He is running 5th at the moment. Bobby Hamilton and Brett Bodine have each lost some positions. The past few weeks, the points positions have been very significant. And of course, everybody is chasing that $1 million+ bonus at the end of the year.
Look at Dale Jarrett's left front brake rotor. As he goes in the corner, it just gets cherry red as he tries to close up on the back of Rusty Wallace.
Well, he's trying to pass him on the outside as Rusty has not been able to get around Brett Bodine. Brett running the high groove. Jarrett figures, well, he's run a little bit faster, but now Rusty gets on the inside of Bodine.
Brett Bodine a lap down in 22nd spot in the number 11 Paycheck Sport. I guess that flame burned itself out there on Jeremy Mayfield's car.
That's the doggonest thing I think I've ever seen.
In all your years of racing, you've
In
never
all
seen
my years, I've never seen anything like that. That's not Jeremy Mayfield, that's Rusty Wallace we're seeing there. And finally, he gets by Brett Bodine. Now, can Jarrett do it?
For a few laps, Jarrett and Wallace were catching Terry Labonte. They cut about a second off their lead, but now they've lost about a second and a half while they were racing with Brett Bodine here.
John Kernan, what's the report on Jeremy Mayfield?
Well, I think what happened to Jeremy is the same thing that happened to Michael Waltrip a little bit earlier in the race. They picked up a piece of rubber on the header. Well, the header is extremely hot. It caught the rubber on fire. The rubber burned. There was a glow underneath the car, but finally the rubber just burns itself out. So I think that's probably the same thing that we saw with Jeremy Mayfield.
How about that? Ricky Rudd just went by Jeremy Mayfield.
He moves up to 15th position, and Ricky Rudd
Outside.
10 of
Clear behind the
1988
10.
last weekend.
Kyle Betty that Ricky Rudd was able to go by. That was Kyle Spotter that you heard. Everything was clear behind the 10 car.
Rudd, since his win at the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis last year, has been on a downturn, so to speak. Only one top 5, 3 top 10s. His average finish only at 26, but as I said, he did finish 6th last week at Dover, his first top 10 of the year. Well, we have a battle for third here between Jeff Gordon and Ken Schrader.
You see Mark Martin's pulled away from Jeff Gordon by about a second.
Seems Gordon's car, after they run about 40 or 50 laps, they seems to go away a little bit for him. There's Schrader trying to look down on the inside as they come up on Bill Elliott. Elliott is a lap down in 19th position.
Schrader's best finish here at Richmond was a 4th, this race 1995.
You see Jeff Bodine, who raced so hard with Terry Labonte just a couple of laps ago, trying to stay in the lead lap or stay just one lap down. He's now 2 laps down to these cars.
Gordon is one of 5 drivers who have picked up bonus points for leading a lap tonight.
Trouble up here in turn 4.
Take him if you can. The car's up against the wall. Stay at the bottom. Leader's behind you. The car's up against the crash wall. Okay, got it. Leader's got it behind you. Watch your back door.
Jeff Green is the driver involved. You heard the
It was
conversation.
about 50% better. We need to do it a little bit more.
So I wonder if Dick Trickle got his lap down. Ooh, look at the heavy contact.
Boy,
Jeff
Green's a
Green's
mess.
car. First Union wants to get on TV, but not this way. So did Trickle get his lap back? Guess not. He did not get his lap back. He was battling flame there as he tried to start that car. He's trying to start the car, but all the water we see in the radiator is running across the racetrack.
Yeah, Jeff, you don't need to crank that thing. You aren't going anywhere with it.
Second caution of the evening coming out as we near the halfway point. John Kernan.
And the leader of the race, Terry Labonte, will be the first to hit his pit stall. He's right across from the start-finish line. He says the car is just a little on the loose side, but he also told Andy Graves that the car was also pretty good. No adjustments right now. Left side's going on. Let's go to Mark Martin's pit and Bill Weber.
Mark Martin has right side tires and is now getting left. Whole lot of fuel in. I had just talked to that crew. Very pleased with how the car is running. Clean off the grill. Mark Martin's away. Here's Jerry Punch.
Right side tires already have gone on Jeff Gordon's DuPont Chevy. Left side tires, no other adjustment. The previous adjustment has gotten rid of the push. Jeff says now we're a top 5 car, and we're gaining on him as he is down and away.
In 20.8 seconds for the Jeff Gordon pit stop, here comes Bobby Labonte, Kenny Irwin, Sterling Marlin moving out, so is Joe Nemechek.
And Johnny Benson lost about 4 or 5 spots. And Jeff Green's looking for somebody. But he's a little angry with somebody.
I think you're right.
I'm just glad to see he's okay, because that car was really taking a beating there. Wow.
Is he just trying to get across the racetrack, or is he looking for somebody? I was like you, Benny. I thought he was looking for somebody to come around that he wanted to shake a finger at. But maybe he's just waiting for the traffic to go by so he can go down across the racetrack.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
You're right. Was that Musgrave?
Yep.
Looked like a yellow and blue car.
Yep. So Jeff Green is okay, but unhappy with Ted Musgrave as he scampers across the track to a safer position. Didn't have far to run to his pit. Well, let's take a look at this thing, and we'll confirm whether or not it was Ted Musgrave. Yes.
Yes, that's who he was pointing at.
Look at the top of your frame now. We'll see if we can catch what happened.
It's already happened. And
let's see, Musgrave is first car in that pack that came off of turn 4.
A lot of cleanup necessary because, as we indicated, the radiator dumped out all of its water onto the racetrack, and so we will be under caution here for a few minutes. There's almost 100,000 people who have gathered here at Richmond International Raceway tonight. John Kernan?
Jeff Green is walking by, obviously upset, does not want to stop to talk to us now. I have a feeling he is headed down pit road to a certain pit stall to talk to a certain crew.
Mm-hmm. We would guess so also. Jerry?
Well, I came to the First Union pit stall, and that crew is already headed down pit road as now a NASCAR official is trying to get Jeff Green to head back to the garage, and Jeff says, no, I need to have a little discussion. Now, what Jeff Green told his First Union crew was that the 16 car turned him down in the corner, so he is going to go try to make his point. His crew members are already on their way to that stall to make their point. This could get very interesting. I think now finally the NASCAR official has made his point and turned him around. Thankfully, headed him back to the garage area.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on that situation, but it looks like Jeff Green has decided to go back and cool off for a little while before possibly talking with the Musgrave team. High above Richmond International Raceway, as we welcome you back to the Pontiac Excitement 400, under caution for the second time. Well, Jeff Green was discouraged from going down there. Felix Sabates, the owner of the 46 car, is having a rather heated discussion with the Musgrave team. Now, John Kernan will talk to Jeff.
Jeff getting a cool drink, trying to cool down a little bit. Jeff, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just makes me mad. You know, we had a good car to start the race, and we got a little loose, and we was getting it better. Got a lap down there, and we had a long way to go, and the guy driving that 16, he spun me out before, and I don't know whether he's got a problem with me or not, but I don't want to tear anybody's race car up over it. He needs to come see me, not tear the guy's race car up. Felix gave me the opportunity to run, and thought we was doing a decent job. You know, we wasn't going to have the best finish what we thought we were going to have, but had a long time to work on it, you know, and got to see the checkered flag before we can finish well. So I just, you know, I don't try to rub on anybody or wreck anybody, and he's done it to me twice now, so I'm going to have a talk with him.
All right, that's Jeff Green. Good luck next week, Jeff.
There is Felix, the owner of the Sabco racing team. Well, we're 8 laps away from the halfway point here in Richmond. The lead is held by Terry Labonte with Mark Martin running in second. ESPN Speed World welcomes you back to Richmond International Raceway and the Pontiac Excitement 400, being brought to you by Polaris All-Terrain Vehicles. Visit your nearest Polaris dealer. You've got to ride it to believe it. And by Texaco, a world of energy. Join host Reese Davis tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time for RPM Today. A preview of the ITT Automotive Detroit Grand Prix, a preview of the Grand Prix of Canada, results from the 24 Hours of Le Mans, Pep Boys IRL race in Texas, and every other thing that's going on in the world of motorsports. That's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning Eastern Time on The Deuce. Well, let's take a look at the pit stop summary. The top 4 stayed the same, but Johnny Benson lost 11 positions, falling from 5th to 16th.
As we ride along with Martin, when he made his pit stop just a moment ago, there was somebody down there trying to... We saw on, if you're looking close on his pit stop, see this guy here?
What's he doing?
He has an infrared gun that he's pointing toward the left front. I assume that he's trying to find the temperature of the brake rotor on Mark Martin's car. See the little light that he's pointing toward his wheel? I think he's trying to get the temperature on the brake rotor.
High tech, huh?
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, they're getting the 1 to go signal. Here's an update on the Johnny Benson story from the doctor.
Seems to be a case of missing lug nuts. Again, as we saw with Dale Jarrett's pit stop earlier, Johnny Benson came back in. They only had 3 lug nuts on the left rear. And here's what you call teamwork, guys. That's Jeff Hammond, who's the crew chief for Chad Little, another one of the Jack Roush cars. He is still going to call Chad Little's race, but he has come down here to be the jack man for Johnny Benson. They are short a jack man, so now a crew chief will be jacking a car he's trying to beat.
Cooperation, huh?
Yeah, Benson did have a slow pit stop that last time. I don't know, there must have been a mix-up, and as Jerry said, left the pits with some lug nuts off, and you got to come back and get them on.
So he drops back to 16th, and there's only 17 cars on the lead lap. The 17th place machine at the moment is Michael Waltrip. We're on board with several cars as we get set for the green flag. Here we go again.
Well, Martin jammed that 3rd gear, didn't he? He said, I got to go. Again, Dick Trickle jumps out in front of the leader. Terry Labonte trying his best to get a lap back. And look, here comes Mark Martin for the lead.
He saw an opportunity and got him 5 bonus points. I don't think he led before,
He has not led before, so we have our 7th leader of the evening.
And if he can stay there, he'll pick up the $10,000 from Gatorade, because at the halfway, you got to run 5 laps after a green flag, so.
That's the completion of lap 199, so the official halfway point will be next time around.
I think it's 2:02 because you got to run 5 laps from the caution flag to get the $10,000. So it's 2:02. The money will be paid out.
All right. Then he'll have to lead 2 more. Now Jeff Gordon comes up to battle his teammate Terry Labonte for 2nd spot. There's the halfway point of the race. 200 down, 200 to go. Rusty Wallace and Chad Little are also in a battle for 5th spot.
Dale Jarrett trying to get by Jeff Burton.
Both of those guys on the lead lap.
Jarrett trying to pass Rusty on the outside. Burton has come up there to contest the situation as well.
Gatorade $10,000, and it looks like it's going to be Mark Martin.
Yeah, he's got himself a comfortable lead there.
But the leader at the halfway point in the first 12 races of the year has gone on to win only 4 times. 76 challenge money is worth $15,200 tonight to the pole sitter, Jeff Gordon, if he can pull off a victory.
And it'd be what, about $20,000 or $30,000 from Winston as well.
20
if he could win, because he would be the points leader coming in, and of course he would be the points leader going out.
Here's our Napa Field summary again, showing you the manufacturer's battle and the laps that each has led. And a pretty good rookie battle going on, and Kevin LePage, of course, did not want to sit out tonight's race. And
they're 3 abreast. As Rusty tried his best to get on the inside, and we got 3 abreast. Jeff Burton gets by, and now Rusty says, look, I got to go on the outside. And in doing so, he just about runs in to Rich Bickle in the 98 car.
Well, that could have been a wreck. It was. It just didn't totally happen.
Whoa, look at Rusty and Jeff Bodine rubbing on each other.
And we see the bumper on the back of the 7 car a little bit loose. I think that Rusty got in the back of Jeff Bodine going down to turn 1. These boys are not quite as calm as they were 200 laps ago, are they, Dan?
No, they're getting real racing here.
See Jeff Burton trying to get by Jarrett. Here's what we see Rusty Wallace going down in turn 1. This is Jeff Bodine. Oh, that's what happened to the rear bumper on that car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, and Jeff Gordon running first, second, and third.
We're going to check the speed of these cars 2 laps before the pit stop and 2 laps after the pit stop. Before the pit, they were running 23.69, 113, almost 114 miles per hour. You see, after they put on the tires, they picked up almost exactly 1 full second, or 5 miles per hour. John Gurney.
Well, Vinny, you remember earlier, Dr. Jerry punched on this tire off Jeff Gordon's car that was worn down where you could see the cords. Well, I checked it with his teammate, Terry Labonte's crew chief, Andy Graves. Andy says the first stop, 120 laps on those tires. The tires look great. It showed very, very little wear. Could not see the cords. So Labonte is good to go. Right now, he's just kind of taking it easy because Mark Martin apparently wanted to lead some laps. So Terry's taking it easy, trying to save his tires, trying to go another 120 laps on this run.
Labonte was the fastest that last lap, just a little bit quicker than Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon.
And once again, Dick Trickle jumps out and stays there. He's able to stay there for 15, 20 laps. And that time, Jeff Gordon was the quickest car, and Chad Little was the second quickest at over 120 miles per hour. So the John Deere car has been good this entire weekend, qualified well and has run good the entire 200 laps.
He's coming up on Ken Schrader there now, who's running in 4th place.
Ken's best finish here at Richmond was 16th in 1991.
And Chad Little and his crew struggled when they came to the fall race here at Richmond a year ago. They talked about coming to test here this year, and Chad actually talked them out of it, saying, we're going to be okay. We won't go test. They struggled a little bit here Friday, but then he knocked out a great qualifying lap. And tonight, that car is truly set up for long runs and for the changing conditions of the racetrack. They weren't so sure how good they were going to be early, but they are extremely confident they're going to be among the cars to beat late. So far, Chad Little is having an excellent evening, and they clearly expect it to get better for the John Deere Ford.
There's the leader, Mark Martin, with about a 0.6 of a second advantage over Terry Labonte. We look back on Terry. There's the interval between first and second. The top 10 has Gordon in third, then Schrader, Chad Little running fifth. Dale Jarrett, Jeff Burton, Rusty Wallace, Bobby Labonte, and Kenny Irwin are the second 5 at the lap 2:14. Back in the Pontiac Excitement 400 and in Rico County, Virginia, just outside the city limits of Richmond. It's Richmond International Raceway, however, and the overhead shot courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. Mark Martin continues to lead.
And that car directly in front of Mark Martin is Dick Trickle. Now Trickle goes up the racetrack. Mark Martin is trying his best to get on the inside because he knows that Trickle's holding him up. Meanwhile, here comes Dale Jarrett trying to take over 5th spot. And Chad Little goes by on the outside, or tries to, and does.
Take a look at the Bud race recap. The leader is Mark Martin. He's led 25 of the first 222 laps. We've had 10 lead changes, 2 caution periods, and the average speed is up to a little over 100 miles an hour. Here are the lap leaders, the drivers that have picked up 5 bonus points. Terry Labonte has now led the most laps, with Marlin, Martin, Jarrett, and Benson also having led a lap, in addition to Jeff Gordon and Michael Waltrip. And we have one car, Robert Presley, off the track, and we have 2 out of the race, namely Jeff Green and Rick Mast.
And I think that Steve Grissom just fell out of the race. He's very slow down the back stretch, slow down the front stretch, and there he's going down the back. And
yeah, baby, clear.
Looks like some stuff falling off of that car too, Benny.
Yeah, we see John Kernan.
Well, this last time by, it came down the front stretch. I could see smoke spitting out the back, and maybe a little bit of metal too. What I'm hearing, what we're hearing on the radio, is Steve thinking that he has broken the rear end gear, so he's going to go into the garage area. They'll check that out. If that is in fact what had happened, they'll replace it, and he'll try and come back out on the racetrack.
Rusty Wallace has just taken 7th position from Jeff Burton. Jerry has more on Steve Grissom.
Apparently, prior to him slowing in the last 4 or 5 laps, a number of cars, including some of the leaders, have complained that something was coming out of the 41 car. Possibly some rear-end grease leaking out of the car. Now, NASCAR has asked their spotters to look all around the racetrack. In fact, a number of crews have said, if there's anything at all, or you suspect anything, please put out the yellow. They are still looking, but as yet, no yellow flag.
And a change for 4th position as Dale Jarrett goes there, and Ken Schrader drops back to 5th, and now Chad Little is right there in the mix also.
Mark Martin is still the leader. There he is. We see Terry Labonte now, and he's still trying to get by Dick Trickle. It's going to take this and all right up.
Yeah.
Should have packed his lunch.
Trickle is in 18th, finally goes a lap down. 17 cars now on the lead lap. Riding with Mark Martin, who has 13 top 10s in 24 races here at Richmond. That finished 13th and 25th in the 2 respective races in 1997. Sixth, 7th, and 8th under race here as Ken Schrader, Rusty Wallace, and Jeff Burton go at it.
Go down in turn 1. Boy, these cars are just so doggone close. They all run about the same speed. It's so difficult to pass. And we see the groove is moving up. Johnny Benson is about the only guy that can really run right on the bottom of the racetrack.
He's still back there in 16th position. Benson is after running in the top 5 for much of the first half.
Hasn't moved up a great deal from that pit stop, has he?
No, he hasn't. Here's Rusty trying to move around Ken Schrader. See Jeff Burton up there on the high side of the racetrack. Burton dropping back a little bit. Rusty couldn't make the pass that time.
Look how much higher these guys are running. Evidently, they've worn that sealer off the bottom of the racetrack, and it's slippery down there, and they're moving up the racetrack trying to find some kind of grip.
Mark Martin and Terry Labonte look very comfortable at the moment in 1st and 2nd position as 233 of the 400 laps have been completed here in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Kenny Schrader's falling back. He's back now to 8th spot as Jeff Burton goes by. At the top of the show, Ned and I talked about the temperature, and we talked about it being 80 degrees. Well, it's only cooled down 10 degrees. Ned, I'm kind of surprised that it's down. It isn't into the 60s.
Yeah, I would have thought by this time that it would be into the 60s.
And that's good news for the crews that it hasn't dropped any more than it has.
Yeah, the racetrack is not changing as much as it would have had it gotten to it.
On board with leader Mark Martin. You can see the interval now a little bit better between him and Terry Labonte as it was before we went to break. 67 hundredths of a second exactly between the two.
You can see how much that is right there on the racetrack.
You see run down up to the left-hand corner. 158 laps to go.
Rusty Wallace now. Rusty's turning some good laps out there right now. And in fact, the last several laps, he's run faster than anybody. Coming up on the Chad Little car. Now, the last time around, Mark Martin ran the fastest lap, but Rusty has been consistently turning some good laps.
And you can see one reason that Rusty slowed down because he ran across Chad Little and trying to get by. He could be running about the same speed as Chad Little for a little bit. Darrell Waltrip makes an unscheduled pit stop down in turn 4. So Mark Martin, Valvoline Ford, out front, we'll ride along with him. Go over to the gauges, we see his tachometer, that's 7,000, 8,000, almost 9,000 RPMs. All the gauges clustered together. Let's take a little closer look on that gauges. Oh wow, look at the tach. Wow. Is he going to turn 9,000 yet? Oh, no. Over 8,000.
Yep, got 82, 8,300.
Well, that's down the back stretch. He's going to turn more down the front stretch because it's longer.
Well, maybe not this time. He's coming off on the inside of Ernie Irvin.
That's 8,500?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I believe he would have gone even more than that had he not been on the inside of Ernie Irvin, which probably took a few RPMs away from him.
If he gets by Ernie this time, we'll check it, but he's still not able to clear. Ernie Irvin not able to come off. Ooh, there's Dave Marcus on the inside.
Well, still got up there to about 87.
Yeah.
But Ned's right. If he can clear Ernie and come off turn 4 and go right up to the outside retaining wall.
Now Mark cleared the 36 car.
This is the 81 car of Kenny Wallace. We're going the Tabasco hot zone, and we'll see what kind of RPMs he turns.
All clear.
It's down the back stretch. He will not turn as many. 8,700. Down in turn 3. Drift up the racetrack. This is Square D. Ford Tar, so we're right along with. No, I saw 9,400, but 90 and the 9,800 is too much. But he is turning 9,000 RPMs down that front stretch. He's got something on the windshield. There's fluid of some kind on the windshield. Is it raining?
No, I don't think so. Is that plastic tearaway stuff that they got, Benny? And maybe there's some air bubbles there?
Good point. Good point. Bill Weber?
Yeah, a similar situation does exist for Jeremy Mayfield when the 41 was having its problem leaking grease from the rear end. It's all over the windshield of Jeremy Mayfield's car. In fact, I'm told by his crew he can barely see. Well, Mayfield has that plastic film, that plastic covering on his windshield. When he pits next time, they'll tear that off and he'll have much better vision. But it's certainly handicapping him at this point right now.
More on the 81 car from Jerry Punch.
And of course, Kenny Wallace's Square D crew sitting in the pits watching exactly the picture you're watching at home, and they know exactly what Kenny Wallace is seeing on the racetrack, which isn't a lot because his windshield is indeed, as you heard Bill Weber say, covered with oil or whatever that fluid was that came out of the 41 car a little bit ago. And that oil on that plastic sheet over that Lexan windshield looks sort of smeared and distorted. Obviously, Kenny Wallace doesn't have a very good view, but the guys standing here in the pits are enjoying at least watching it at home. Now they're on TV all over the country.
Kenny Wallace is a lap down to the leader, running in 23rd position at the moment.
There's Mark Martin, the leader.
Coming up on Todd Bodine in the Tabasco car. Todd had a tire problem early and had to make a green flag pit stop. He's 2 laps down, about to go 3 laps down now to Mark Martin.
And Michael Walter, the sit-go car, Ford directly in front, is still in the lead lap. He's currently in 17th spot. And there we see Rusty Wallace goes by Chad Little, who's in the 5th spot.
So Rusty continues to move forward here. Rusty started back in 22nd position. Now here comes Jeff Burton up to challenge Chad Little.
Chad's car was running so good after that last pit stop, but now it seems to be going away a little bit for him. So that drops him back to the 7th position. Jeff Burton moves up to 6th.
And Chad Little, his Roush cars have run so well, but his teammate, Johnny Benson, remember, who ran so doggone well early on, he made that unscheduled stop or had to go on the caution flag, had to go back in the pits and started back in 16th spot, and he's still in 15th. He cannot work his way towards the front, and evidently some problems have developed on that Cheerios car.
Benson led 12 laps of this race, and Bill Weber has a report from pit road.
Now another guy is slipping backwards is Kenny Schrader. He's very, very loose. In fact, Andy Petrie just told Schrader something he already knew. This is by far the worst run of the evening. Schrader is loose. He thinks it's just the tires. They talked about making an air pressure adjustment. Then Schrader called back in and said, I feel like I've got a vibration in the right rear. He's riding that out, but they are going to make an air pressure adjustment on the right rear and the left rear when he comes back in. But they are a little concerned that it's more the tires than the air pressure adjustment they've already made. So they're going to have to kind of roll the dice next time they make a pit stop.
The lead is tightening up. Meanwhile, as Terry Labonte closes in on Mark Martin, now brings the interval down to less than a car length as they once again lap Dale Earnhardt, and he goes 2 laps down in 28th position.
Not so fast, man. He ain't 2 laps down yet. And here comes Dale Jarrett trying to get by Jeff Gordon. That's a battle for the 3rd spot, and Jarrett has it. Now back to the lead as Labonte tries to go by on the outside. Mark Martin has Bill Elliott and Dale Earnhardt both trying to stay in the lead lap.
Benny, evidently that racetrack is very slick down on the inside. You've mentioned it once before, and once those tires gets heated up, boy, it's hard to get that traction off of the corner, as Jarrett's trying to do now, to going around Jeff Gordon, and Gordon's going to make him use up as much of those tires as he can, but now he does make the move.
Jarrett moves to 3rd, Jeff Gordon back to 4th position.
And Mark Martin is still trying his best to get by Dale Earnhardt on the bottom of the racetrack. The top right now, I think, is the place to go, and Earnhardt knows that. He's going to make these guys lap him on the bottom.
And a lot of traffic up ahead of Earnhardt and Mark Martin.
Now, Jeff Green, the 96th, Jeff Green.
Kevin LePage.
Kevin LePage, thank you very much, Bob. Right now, I think he's probably slower than Earnhardt. He might impede Earnhardt's progress on the outside.
Dale Earnhardt right in the middle of this with 24 straight finishes of 11th or better from 84 to 95. However, has finished 15th or worse in the last 4 races here at Richmond. He now is 2 laps down, running in the 28th position. Mark Martin leads Terry Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, and Rusty Wallace with 264 laps complete. Some of the action tonight in Richmond International Raceway in the Pontiac Excitement 400. We are back live now. We're riding with the leader, Mark Martin, but look who has moved to 2nd and coming on to challenge Mark. That's Dale Jarrett.
Just at the start-finish line, he's just 0.15 of a second behind the leader. And he's running the bottom of the racetrack. He's able to get a grip and come off the corner and take the lead.
And so for the 2nd time tonight, make that the 3rd time tonight, Dale Jarrett goes to the lead. He has led 12 laps so far. Now we'll see what Terry Labonte has on his mind.
DJ's car is exceptionally good on the real long runs. He was about 5 seconds behind about 30 or 40 laps ago. And Martin and them started slowing down, and DJ's car just kept going at a good rate of speed, and they were running down, and as Benny said, right on the bottom of the racetrack, and nobody else has been able to run that good on the bottom of the racetrack.
More from Jerry Punch.
You're exactly right, Ned. Dale Jarrett didn't get faster, but he's been incredibly consistent. After they came in and changed tires, he was 0.02 of a second slower than the leader, Mark Martin, per lap. But lap after lap, Todd Parrott, the crew chief, kept saying, you're staying the same, and they're slowing down. And indeed, that's been the difference.
Kenny Irwin deserves a pat on the back and a mention tonight. He's still in the top 10, and as a matter of fact, is about to take, or trying to take, 9th place away from Ken Schrader.
They had a great run here last fall in this Not in the 28 car, but the 27 car he was driving.
He's about 9.5 seconds behind the leader. That's less than half a lap.
Showing you where the manufacturers are running here on the Hardee's field summary board.
There's a Ford leaderboard, and there's a Chevrolet leaderboard. We see Labonte and Gordon 3rd and 4th.
And now the Pontiacs. Bobby Labonte the best, running in 8th position. Kyle Petty back in 30th. Who's led the most? Well, Chevy has led the most laps tonight. And Ford is closing in, and Jarrett, of course, is in a Ford. The points battle in the rookie race, well, pretty close, with Irwin just 6 ahead of Kevin LePage. Kevin LePage does not get rookie points tonight because he did not qualify the car that he is driving. So it does give an opportunity for Kenny Irwin to gain a better hold. And here now is the 2nd place spot being contested, and Terry Labonte taking it from Mark Martin.
You see up in the head, you're looking at Mark Martin's windshield. Dale Jarrett's been trying to get around Bill Elliott. Elliott's running that 2nd groove that we've said seems to be working better right now. Jarrett can't get by down on the inside, even as good as his car was working down on the inside.
He's trying to put Bill Elliott 2 laps down in 25th spot.
He might have a run now. Let's see if he is able to move around.
See Steve Grissom back on the racetrack. We were talking about maybe that car was the one putting some fluid down, but whatever problem he had, they repaired it. He's back on the track.
Let's jump inside the car of Michael Waltrip, who is running in the 18th position, actually outside the car, looking back on him.
Here comes Bobby Labonte on in. Look at that head. Man, flop around. He needs to do something with that.
How can he keep his vision with his head bouncing around that ground?
He does not have a shoulder strap. You see around his left arm, there's not a strap going up his helmet. So he's using that restraint over on the right side of his helmet to keep his head from going over. As Jimmy Spencer goes by. So Michael's car right now is losing some of its speed.
You would think that he would lose his equilibrium.
It's a battle for the 18th spot, he and Spencer. He really does move around, doesn't he? Man.
He's a big guy, a big tall guy, so I guess it makes him stand to move around a little bit more than a shorter guy would.
And Jimmy Spencer now goes to the inside and takes the 18th position from Michael. Well, we anticipate what could be the final round of pit stops at about 15 laps as 281 of the 400 have now been completed here at Richmond. The lead continues to be held by Dale Jarrett. From high above Richmond International Raceway, we welcome you back to the Pontiac Excitement 400. The Pennzoil Copter Cam is providing these shots from high above the racetrack. 288 laps completed. A reminder that the NASCAR website is www.nascar.com. It's your source of all kinds of information regarding the various NASCAR divisions. Check it out, www.nascar.com. Well, a battle on the racetrack.
7th position, Bobby Labonte just took it away from Chad Little.
Those cars are about a little over 10 seconds behind the leader, Dale Jarrett. There's a battle for 4th spot as we see Rusty Wallace close up right on the back bumper of Gordon.
They got it beside him a couple laps ago, Benny, but down on that inside, it just couldn't go. Rusty continues to turn laps as fast as Dale Jarrett did last time around. It wasn't because he was running behind Jeff Gordon. But when he's out in the open, he really runs good. Now he's going to try that inside again, but he just can't get the traction off the corner. You see Gordon pull away as he come off of the corner. Dale Jarrett just put Ted Musgrave a lap down. He's running 16th.
The last car on the lead lap is Jeremy Mayfield now as we ride with his teammate Rusty Wallace, still trying to get to the inside of Jeff Gordon.
Mayfield. He's got a little cushion before the leader gets up to him.
Mike Skinner in the 31 car is back in 33rd position. He was the fastest second round qualifier here today. In fact, the only one to improve his speed from yesterday. Meanwhile, Jarrett, the leader of the race, works through traffic. Here's a Hardee's field summary showing you the point positions. Now, the last time we showed you, a couple of positions had changed, but we're going to show you this time that everything has stabilized in the top 10.
So let's see. Cartoon Network car wiggles it came off the second corner. But meanwhile, as Jarrett tries to get by, that's letting us. And Rusty once again trying Jeff Gordon, gets alongside, but Gordon has some momentum and that acceleration off the corner. This time, Rusty's going in the corner and you let him drift up the racetrack. Can he get the spot? No, I don't think so.
Well, they come off pretty even that time. They got Brett Bodine up in front of him there. I don't know how he'll play into that.
Of course, if Rusty can finish ahead of Gordon, he will knock a few points off of Jeff's lead. Rusty Wallace with 6 wins at this facility, tied with Darrell Waltrip for most wins among the active drivers. Rusty has 14 top 5s and 17 top 10s and an average finish of an unbelievable 5.5.
He's going to try to help that average now as he goes into 4th spot. Or tries to go in 4th spot. He has Brett Bodine there. That will help him take that spot away from Gordon.
Now Kenny Irwin and Chad Little battle for the 8th spot.
Irwin just keeps inching up towards the front. And he was out of the top 10 and now has made his way up into the top 10 as Bickle comes down pit road. So is John Andretti.
Big triple sitting here pit road, changing 4 tires. He leads now. So some of the cars already making pit stops now with 103 laps to go.
Kenny Irwin has moved up 3 positions from where he started, but is down 4 from the highest that he has run in this race. He was as high as 4th earlier. Jerry Punch.
As you're watching the Rich Bickle pit stop, there may be a problem developing with Jeff Gordon. He radioed in as Bickle leaves pit road. Gordon says we may have a cut right rear tire.
He was trying to come into the pits there. I believe he was slowed down, and Brett Bodine didn't know that, and he was trying to go by him, or he didn't know what was going on. And so Gordon definitely is slowed.
He needs to get to the inside of the racetrack right now as he goes down the backstretch if he's going in the pits. No, he's still not going in the pits because Nadeau is going in the pits. And we see some damage to the left front fender. We made contact with Brett Bodine as Jeremy Mayfield brings his car down pit road. See Evernham talking to Gordon, trying to find out what's going on.
There's Jeremy making his way down to his pit stall. We are 300 laps now into this race, 100 to go.
Final pit stop for the night for Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevrolet. They will change 4 tires, clean the front grill. Now left side tires going on. One member is going to come over and pull that left front fender away. There's Jack in the car. Ray Evernham talking to the crew. Hold. He is down and away.
All of that in 18 seconds. A good pit stop by the Rainbow Warriors. And we have Jeff Burton now in for his what could be final pit stop.
Right side's on. Car going around to the left. Bill Schrader's in. Bill Weber, Schrader's in.
Last regularly scheduled stop for him. Air pressure adjustment to try and help tighten up the car. Schrader has been very, very loose. The 99 returns to the track. Now the 33 is on its way. Chad Little has pulled on to pit road. He was running 7th when he came into the pits. They're cleaning the windshield. They do make a chassis adjustment on the John Deere board. He's got his right side tires on. Remember, they had a slow stop on the left rear. They're trying to pick up the pace there. Johnny Benson is also on pit road. There's a loose tire down there. Jerry Punch.
Final pit stop for the Cheerios Sport crew. They have changed right side tires. Now left side tires going on to car number 26. Likewise, the car number 28, also in the pits, getting service from the Hamilton Ford. Now they scamper around to the left side for Kenny Irwin. His final pit stop. Irwin, who finished 8th here last fall, driving the 27 car. Left front tire, left rear tire. Now he is down, headed for pit for turn 1.
Had some trouble on the left front of the 28 car that time during the pit stop. Other cars coming down pit road. Michael Waltrip, Ricky Rudd. And here goes Jeff Gordon with those fresh tires as he goes by the leader.
Bobby Labonte is in.
Mark Martin is coming in.
Interstate Batteries team on the right side, now scampering over to the left side. Down to Bill Weber in Mark Martin's pit.
And Mark Martin's going to get a fresh look at the rest of this race. They pull the plastic sheet off the windshield. Small air pressure adjustment to try and collect a very tiny handling flaw. The fuel going in. The left side tires going on. Sticker tire for Martin. Again, this should be his last stop. That's lightning quick. And Mark Martin is away. Rusty Wallace is in now. And this track has been coming to him. They really haven't been chasing the track all night. It keeps coming to Rusty. He's got right side tires. He's getting fuel. Now he'll get the left side tires. It's just supposed to be 4 tires and fuel. That's what it looks like. And Rusty Wallace is on his way. Dale Jarrett is headed toward Jerry Connors.
40 miles an hour for Dale Jarrett, having won last week at Dover, Delaware, trying to make it 2 weeks in a row. They hand him a water bottle for a cold drink. Pull the old water bottle out, and we'll change right side tires, pull the plastic off the windshield. Thus far, it is flawless. Remember, they had a problem with the left rear earlier. Only got 3 lug nuts on, but no, Brad Parrott puts them all 5 on. They get the left front out, and now he is down and away.
The left front tire changer hits himself in the knee and said, don't it, I could have done that better, because it took him about 19 seconds, and we'll see what happens. Here comes Terry Labonte and John Kernan.
90 laps from the finish. Terry Labonte had assumed the lead after DJ pitted. He pulls into his pit stall. When you hand him a drink of water, they don't have a tearaway. They're going to have to clean the windshield the old-fashioned way. They also will make a wedge adjustment on the left rear because the car needed to be tightened up as it came off of the corners, just wanting to slip the tires a little bit. Left side's going on. Now full of gas. They hit all the lug nuts, tighten them up, and the body is down and away.
Terry Labonte building up speed now as he clears pit road, stands on the accelerator and rejoins the race. We believe that Dale Jarrett is the leader of this race.
I think that's right, Bob. And not far behind him is Rusty Wallace, who made a tremendous pit stop. Rusty is in second, and Jeff Gordon, you see there in the picture, would be in 3rd place.
And you see, how could Gordon be there? Because he pitted 2 or 3 laps before these guys and picked up 2 or 3 seconds with those fresher tires.
Indeed, those are the first 3. Then Mark Martin back in 4th and Terry Labonte 5th after 312 laps in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Dale Jarrett is in control of this race at the moment with a 2nd and a 3rd lead on Rusty Wallace. Speed there, now 3 laps down, running in 30th position.
You see Rusty Wallace, a 2nd place car, as he tries to close in on that car. Dale Jarrett. That last lap, Rusty was just a tick faster than Dale Jarrett.
Started from 22nd position tonight, his lowest start here at Richmond in his 29th race. His 3rd place, Jeff Gordon.
And the 4th place runner right now is Mark Martin. There he is, a Valvoline Ford.
And in the 5th position will be Terry Labonte, and there he comes, passing Kenny Wallace.
Next, our 6th place car, the Excite Batteries Ford Taurus. 99 of Jeff Burton.
He's about 5.8 seconds behind.
racetrack is their 7th place car. Kenny Irwin is having a good run tonight. He's back in the 8th spot. The Texaco Havoline Ford Taurus.
He's run in the top 10 just about all evening long, and now is in 8th spot.
Well, he's trying to move on the inside of him, but Bill is 2 laps down, so Kenny need not worry about him.
Running in 9th spot is Kenny Schrader in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet.
He is 12 3/10 seconds behind the leader.
Who will complete the top 10, BP?
Well, I think it's going to be either the 12 or the 97. It's a 97 of Chad Lewis. Robert Presley's car is back on the racetrack.
As a matter of fact, there are just 2 cars out of the race, Jeff Green and Rick Mast. Everybody else is still running. 41 cars still on the racetrack.
The 26 Johnny Benson Trio's car ran so well early on, is now back in the 11th spot.
And speaking of a car that ran well early in the going, how about Sterling Marlin, who has led twice tonight for a total of 81 laps, including several there at the beginning of the race.
He's still in 12th spot. There we see Jeremy Mayfield. He's a 13th place car, or Mobile 1 Ford Taurus. Joe Nemechek is still in the lead lap, the Bell South Chevrolet. So Phoenix doing pretty well. Got 2 cars in the top 15 in the lead lap.
And right in front of the leader there is Ted Musgrave. He's the last car on the lead lap. Now remember before the pit stops that Ted Musgrave had gone a lap down. But a good pit stop, and making that pit stop earlier than Jarrett did, put him back on the lead lap because he's able to get out there and run a few laps at a higher rate of speed. But now he does go the lap down.
Dale Jarrett leading after 329 circuits here in Richmond. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more in just a moment. And Mark Martin closes in on Jeff Gordon for second.
Kenny Irwin in between them there in the 36 car.
Mark was right there just a couple of laps ago, but when Jeff got by Ernie, Mark is still struggling to get by.
And look there, Terry Labonte is catching them as well in the 5 car.
Each of those first five drivers has won a race here at Richmond. Jarrett won, Rusty 6, Jeff Gordon won, Mark Martin won, and Terry Labonte has won twice. While we were away, by the way, Rich Bickle scraped the wall. We thought we might get a caution. We did not. Rich continued.
These guys are trying to race each other for these spots. You know, one problem that they have that we did not have when we drove is traffic, because all the cars finish these days. Now we're here with just 60 laps to go, only 2 cars out of the race, 41 cars on the racetrack.
Well, you're right. There's still a lot of cars on a 3/4 mile racetrack after 340 laps.
First Plus Financial Field Summary shows you that Rusty Wallace has now gone into second position, putting Jeremy Mayfield down to third. That's if points were awarded right now. Johnny Benson has gained 3 as of the moment and is in 15th in the point standings.
Jeff Gordon still running that high line around the racetrack.
And caution is on the track.
Crash over in 3. Southbound leaders are behind. Okay, he's in the middle of the track. He's coming down. You need to go high. You need to go high. Wave these guys off now. Wave these guys off. There, you're not going to. Leader is behind you. Keep digging here.
And some drivers trying to get laps back. I don't know whether Bobby Hamilton got one of his 2 back or not.
I think he did.
Yeah,
I believe he did.
Sure looked like he did.
Well, Michael Waltrip certainly has shortened that Ford Taurus, hasn't he?
Man,
He has.
the back is gone.
Yes, it is.
I don't think DJ wanted to see this caution. He was pulling away, and he's been better all night on long runs. Of course, there's still 57 laps to go.
This is only the 3rd caution of the evening. It comes on lap 3:44.
Now the next question, the pace cars picked them up, and I guess pit road is open. I don't see a green flag. I don't even know where it is, but are they going to come?
I would think.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they all peel off, and here they all come. All the cars on the lead lap.
Rusty right into the back of DJ there, coming down pit road.
Down to Jerry Punch.
And just as that happened, Todd Parrott had warned Dale Jarrett at 40 miles an hour. We're going to show you 3 pit stops, 88, 2, and 24, stacked on the screen. Ford, and Chevrolet. They will make no changes whatsoever on Dale Jarrett's Ford. It's a little bit tight in the middle of the corner, but it's good enough possibly to win the race. As we will watch him on pit road. Dale Jarrett, top of the screen, Rusty Wallace in the middle, and Jeff Gordon at the bottom. They pull the fender out a little bit on Jeff Gordon's car on the left front. Rusty Wallace down and away, 17.6 seconds. Still left side tires down on Dale Jarrett's car. He is down and away. And Jeff Gordon is out as well, 17.4, 17.6, and 11.8 on the Dale Jarrett car.
Looks like Jarrett's going to drop to, I believe, 4th, however. Oh, look at Kenny Irwin. He hit a he hit a tire, has to back up.
Wow.
Wow, that's a tough break. Looks like there's some damage to the nose of the car, too.
I'll bet there is, because he had that tire pretty much under the car, it looked like. Let's take a look at it. There is the impact that Michael Waltrip made with the wall that's caused this 3rd caution and the pit stops that we have just concluded from his on board. Lights out for the camera.
You hear that tire blow just before he got in the wall?
And that explains why the crash happened. There you can see others who have made their pit stops and are rolling back out onto the racetrack. Resumption of the Pontiac Excitement 400 in a moment. We go back to green.
And Rusty Wallace, those guys in the pits, Wilburn, Hollywood, Earl, all those guys, great pit stop, gets him out front. Can he stay there? That's the question.
He was very good before that caution came out. He was running lap speeds pretty close to Dale Jarrett's.
And Jarrett's got a problem. He's got to pass 2 Chevrolets to get to Rusty Wallace. He's back in 4th spot.
We told you earlier that this is the worst starting position that Rusty has ever had. In the 6 wins he's had here at Richmond, his lowest start was 7th. He started from 22nd tonight. Now Labonte closes in on 2nd place, Jeff Gordon.
Rusty Wallace's crew, no doubt, has worked on this car all night long. He's able to keep that car down on that yellow line on the bottom of the racetrack much better than early on. And only one of the few cars that can do that. Now all the cars trying to run down there. And right now Martin is pressing Dale Jarrett for 4th spot. Jarrett's not able to keep his car on the bottom like he did a moment ago as Martin pulled up on the inside.
And new tires, his car just simply has not been that good all night long. He's going to lose that 4th position to Mark Martin as they come off the turn 4. And Jeff Burton is right there behind Martin.
Well, Jarrett is giving it all he's got.
And while they're racing side by side, those 3 leaders are pulling away.
If we consider only points in the 2 short track races this year, Dale Jarrett is the points leader. He has accumulated more than any other driver.
But he hasn't won on the short track this year.
He is the only driver that has 2 top 5 finishes, however.
Both 3rd places at Martinsville and Bristol. Hanging pretty tough up there on that outside.
Is.
Mark got a run off of that corner, and they're getting pretty close together.
These shots from overhead in the Pennzoil copter cam.
The Dick Trickle car, the Hollick Myers car, is not in the battle with these cars. He's a lap down.
He's the first car a lap down in 16th position.
Rusty has led only 11 laps so far. We still cannot award the 5 bonus points for the driver leading the most laps. Right now, Terry Labonte has led the most. but Jarrett is just 9 behind him. Labonte has led 92, Jarrett 83.
And Martin now loses a spot to Jeff Burton. Here's Gordon. He's closed up. He's only a car length behind Rusty Wallace. Ray Evern and those guys must have made some changes to that DuPont Chevy, trying their best to get Gordon in position to win.
Jeff Burton now trying to get that 4th spot from Dale Jarrett.
Position. Goes down in the corner. Can he keep it on the bottom? Not quite. Oh, he's still there. Almost has some contact.
Yep, I think they did slightly. Look at Jarrett battle back on the outside, but
once again, it's just inches. Burton, if he could just move up the racetrack and take that higher line off the corner, he could go somewhere, but Dale Jarrett is there.
Yeah, and it takes his line away not only coming off the corners, but getting into the corner as well.
This is unbelievable. If Jarrett finishes in 5th position, it'll be his worst finish here at this track in the last 5 events. He's finished 4th, 2nd, 4th, 3rd, and 1st in the last 5.
There again, they're racing side by side, and Burton slips a little bit coming off of the corner. Off the corner, too, and that let Jarrett get out front. Here comes Mark Martin up on the outside of Burton. But I started to say that those front 3 cars were getting away from them while they were racing side by side. Now Martin does make the pass on Jeff Burton.
About 1 1/4 seconds from 1st to 4th. There is Rusty Wallace, the leader of the race, and Jeff Gordon running in 2nd. And the other car that you see there in your shot is Terry Labonte, who is in 3rd place. We'll be right back. Great battle for the lead. All 100,000 standing and cheering as this battle for the lead. The top 3 positions real close together on the track. Rusty has been...
Make that top 4 positions.
Okay. Rusty's been trying to hold off Jeff Gordon for the last
some
laps.
Contact there. And they're still, they almost got hung together there.
Wow.
Now Jeff's going to try to get on the outside. Here he comes.
He had tried him on the inside. That didn't work, so he said, let me go up on the high side of the racetrack. Rusty was protecting that bottom lane, and it looks like that Gordon, he's...
Oh, and the contact, and Jeff spins.
Got to spin on turn 2. Get out low, get out low. You got it. Go. Don't let the 23. On the bottom. A lot of smoke. Everybody check it out.
And Terry Labonte comes back to the line in front. Wow.
Jeff Gordon into the wall hard in turn 2 is going to let back toward the pits.
Well, he's got a lot of damage to that DuPont Chevrolet.
Here he comes down pit road. Holding him go hard, as you can tell. Here come all the leaders down pit road. Jarrett stayed on the racetrack.
Yeah, and that didn't surprise me. His car starts coming in after it runs a while.
Real time.
That's coming off 2, about a lap before it happened. And then Gordon gets on the outside, going in 3. Now we come off turn 4. He has the position. Go by the start-finish line down in 1. And there's Gordon, and we see Rusty just touch that left rear. Around goes Jeff, and hard in the outside retaining wall. Another angle, we see
Right there,
just the contact. And when Rusty almost spun his car, we see Labonte go by on the inside to take the lead.
And they'll push the DuPont Chevrolet behind the wall. We'll see if they can get it out there for a few more laps. Well, Jeff Gordon has crashed and dropped out of contention. Just a little less than 25 laps to go here at Richmond. You can imagine the emotions going through the mind of Jeff Gordon right now as he was in a battle for the lead with Rusty Wallace. The two cars collided, sending Jeff hard into the outside wall in turn number 2. He walks back to his trailer. This is how championships are won and lost.
Never see Gordon on the outside. The 2-car makes contact. Around goes Jeff. He nails the gas, trying to keep the car out of the wall, trying to get to a 360, but it goes up and smacks the wall hard. Now, as we look from the helicopter, Ned, folks, it looks to me like, again, it looks to me like Rusty Wallace gets the car loose. Right there, it looks like he gets the car a little bit loose, and when he turns it back to the right to save it, he runs in the 24. Bill Weber?
Well, Jeff Gordon walks back to his truck in the Winston Cup garage. Obviously, Jeff, very emotional. What happened, Jeff?
Well, it's pretty obvious. You tell me. You know, you got it on video. I think it's pretty simple. You know, I had the position on him. He just drove into the left rear. I don't know what happened.
It's all that needs to be said right now. Jeff Gordon is experiencing his second DNF of 1998. We'll be right back with more. Resumes now with just 18 laps remaining.
And Rudd has got to move, and Rudd is going to spin right in front of him. Come down to the inside. Keep her going. No far. And they're crashing. Benson is crashed. And the caution flag once again is out.
Wow, and nearly a track blocker back there. Several become involved as the caution comes out. Most everybody now is moving except Kyle Petty and I believe Johnny Benson.
And now Kyle is moving.
Now, we're going to come in and change tires.
Chad Little has damage on the right side of his car.
And
Ricky Rudd was running in 3rd position when the green flag came out. Todd Bodine has extensive damage to the Tabasco car. And Benson was having a good night. Well, we're under caution again because of a multi-car crash, this time over on the backstretch that's damaged a lot of race cars. Back in a moment. Caution is waving now with 14 laps to go in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Here's what happened over on the backstretch. From the Pennzoil Copter Cam, first of all.
Dale Jarrett's the leader, and Kenny Schrader closed up right on the back. Remember, Ricky Rudd saw an opening. He dove in there, and I guess when he nailed the accelerator to come off the corner, the back end flew around. He nails the gas, and all that smoke, you just can't see anything back there. Benson gets tagged from behind. He spins, and here comes Chad Little. Boom, hits the 26 car, and the 35 runs in the back of Kyle Petty.
And Kevin LePage had also spun in the back of the field.
Here it is, Rudd coming off, and then he says it looks like he nails the gas, and around it goes. And then all that smoke, the rest of them just couldn't see, and they started hitting their brakes, and then they started running into each other.
Rudd did not hit anything.
He's been in the pits and put new tires on his tire.
I might mention that Schrader and Rudd were up in 2nd and 3rd because, like Jarrett, they did not pit during the previous caution. Now from the 81, Kenny Wallace on board camera. He got by pretty easily, didn't he?
Here's Kyle Petty, a Circuit City in car. He's going to get clobbered in this deal.
He slows it down. It gets slowed down, then he's going to get hit from behind. There, see?
One of the front runners, Mark Martin, real lucky getting through here.
The hole just opened up for him. He couldn't see there, had car in the right place at the right time and drove right through.
Mark is in 5th position. 4th is Rusty. 3rd, Terry Labonte. 2nd, Ken Schrader. The leader is Dale Jarrett as the caution laps continue to click off. Now 12 to go at Richmond International.
Ready. Here we go.
That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
We're underway with 11 laps to go.
Right now you'd think that Terry Labonte would be a favorite. He has the fresher tires.
He charges up on that outside line. Sets sail for Schrader and Jarrett.
He got by the lap traffic early.
It's Chad Little that's smoking badly in the back, as we saw just a moment ago. And Labonte's having trouble getting up to speed.
Looked like his car was pushing up a little bit there coming off of turn 2.
Oh, we got a spin off the corner.
Ward Burton.
Keep on getting it.
Inside.
If you get the car started, we'll not have a caution flag, and they did not take the caution. No yellow, and Ward Burton's going, so there will not be a caution flag.
They continue to race, and here they come off of corner number 2 down the backstretch. Terry Labonte looks to the inside of Ken Schrader for 2nd position.
Schrader drives her deep into the corner, stays up on the high side.
Look at the point changes here. The First Plus Financial Field summary is Jeff Gordon, because of the crash, drops to 3rd in the points. They're the top 4, and Martin back there in 5th. And another crash as Spencer and Skinner and LePage crash.
And the caution flag is out, and Dale Jarrett takes the flag, and I don't know if they clean this mess up in time to restart.
I don't know. They have 7 laps to go.
Pace car quickly out in front of the field. There is no car sitting over there that's going to require records, but I don't know what kind of debris or moisture there might be on the racetrack.
Seems like there might be some moisture, since a couple of cars now, 3 cars have spun coming out of corner number 2. In any case, there's Derek Cope, who's come in. We only have 6 more laps to go when they cross the line. Only 6 to go. The race.
The pace car is stopping. The pace car is stopping on the racetrack. These cars cannot stop. Evidently, they're going to just red flag the race at this point until they get the racetrack cleaned up. The pace car has stopped.
Well, they don't want the fans to see a caution finish.
Listen to the crowd.
Yeah. That was a very popular decision. That's Felix Sabates, he likes it. And I don't think anybody would argue with the fact that racing to the checkered flag is the way we want these things to end.
So right now, as the field is stopped, the pace car will go over there and supervise this cleanup. Yeah, that's a tough break. Tough break.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look now. This is the first incident involving Ward Burton.
So he spins down to the inside, out of the way of all the other cars. So we saw no caution there. Let's see. No, he doesn't hit that inside wall.
He's able to get his car going. Now, after that, we see Chad Little smoking badly. And there's what happened. The 96 car loses an engine or something. The 31 car gets in the moisture. He goes up and touches the wall. And that's why that they threw the red flag. There's going to be some serious, look at all that track.
Oh, yeah.
All this line following, that is moisture coming out of the 96 car that Kevin LePage is driving.
Either water or oil or something, but a lot of it dropping from the 97 machine, 96 machine.
And the 97 was already smoking.
Down to Bill Weber.
Well, with Andy Petrie, a lot of hard work could be rewarded here tonight. First of all, can you catch the 88 when we go back to green?
Well, it looked like he was pretty competitive with him right there. I don't know. It's it's like it's going to be a few lap shootout. He's going to give it all he's got. I know that. And there's a couple behind him probably giving it all they got, too. Well, let's see what happens here.
Jarrett appears to be better the longer he runs. How about you guys?
Well, I think we're going to be better in this short run. Again, you don't know till they get going out there. So it looks like we'll have about 7 more laps to find out.
Good to see you smile. This has been a big night for you. Good, solid finish is coming.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks.
It's Andy Petrie hoping his man Ken Schrader can rope in Dale Jarrett here in a handful of laps before the checkers.
Well, it's been a long time since Ken Schrader was in victory lane in a NASCAR Winston Cup event. 215 races ago, as a matter of fact. Not since June of 1991 at Dover has Ken won a Winston Cup race. Under red because of a cleanup that's underway out in turn number 2. There are only 7 laps remaining in this race. Everything was going quite well until we had an incident a few laps ago between Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon, and since then we've had a lot going on. So let's take a look at what happened to Jeff Gordon, who was leading points going into tonight.
Rusty Wallace, the Miller Genuine Draft Car, was leading the race. Jeff Gordon attempted to take a lead on the outside. That's coming off turn 2. They go into 3. Jeff Gordon gets alongside. As they come down the front stretch, Rusty not able to go up. Jeff Gordon drives alongside. They go down in turn 1. In the middle of the corner, this happened. Rusty gets in the 24 car, hits the left rear, and puts the 24 car hard in the wall. From our overhead camera, our Pennzoil copter cam, you see the contact. Rusty Wallace almost spun out as he was trying to correct his car. Terry Labonte goes by to take the lead, and we see the heavy damage to Jeff Gordon's car.
A third angle now.
Same situation. Gordon gets by, it looks like almost all the way by, and looked like Rusty, maybe his car slipped a little bit and he tried to correct it, and right up into Gordon he went, and Gordon into the wall.
A lot of smoke coming off those radial tires as Jeff tries to accelerate and do a 360 without hitting anything, but the wall caught up with him. And of course, when you have a situation like that, there's a lot of reaction from the fans.
A lot of people are happy and a lot of people are sad. They're all saying something.
Yep, some shaking their fist and some.
Yep. And of course, the one person we knew was not happy was Jeff Gordon as he saw his DuPont Chevy.
Well, there's all those guys around that car pushed them. Trust me, they were not happy.
No, they were not.
Well, let's go down to Jerry Punch, who's with Terry Labonte's crew chief, Andy Graves.
And Andy, your car, Terry Labonte, has fresher tires than either one of the cars in front of you. Do you have a shot to get around them?
I think we got a shot at it. We'll just have to see how it plays out. And the single file restart here with 10 laps, under 10 laps is going to help us out. I don't know. It's going to be close.
You said you thought you could get Schrader a moment ago, but what about the 88?
88's been strong all night. They've been really good, and I don't know if we're going to have enough time to do it or not. If we had 20 laps, I'd feel pretty confident, but right now with only the few laps remaining, I don't know. But I'd like to say hi to Rick and Pop at home, and hope they're feeling better.
I'm sure they didn't mind the red flag, and you didn't either.
No, we didn't mind it. It's working out for us, but I still don't know if we have enough time to get it straight away or not. But, I'll tell you what, all of the guys back at Hendrick Motorsports been working real hard, and all the guys down in the chassis shop. This is a brand new snout on this thing, new design, and it's working real good for us tonight.
Obviously, an omen for the future, possibly, for Terry Labonte and the Kellogg's team. Let's go down to John Kernan.
Dale Jarrett's crew chief, Todd Parrott, not wanting really to comment about the red flag situation. The only thing he did tell me, he says, hey, they never do that in the past, so why they do it now? We should have finished this race under yellow. Of course, well, yeah, they're leading the race. What else is he going to say, right? So they're hoping that once it gets back under green, that DJ can hold off Schrader and Terry Labonte. But, man, been sitting there for a while. Those tires are cooling down.
This is unprecedented. I don't ever remember them doing this before, but they've been under. Anyway, Bill Weber is with Robin Pemberton. Bill?
And obviously, you've had a great night. Certainly will be memorable. First of all, let's talk about the last few laps. Can you get back to the front?
I think we can. It's going to be tough. Terry's been a great car all night. He's got 4 tires, and it depends on how how hard they're going to race. The good side of it is, I guess, with 7 to go, it'll be a single file restart on the lead lap car. So that'll let the leaders race pretty good.
Have you had a chance to talk to your driver about the contact with the 24?
No, and I won't ask him about it during the race or anything, but I looked at it. I mean, it's, you know, it's good for some and bad for others. So I don't know. 24 could have come down a little bit, and they're racing pretty hard.
Okay, and they've refired the engines here, so we're about to get an answer to who's going to be the winner tonight at Richmond.
Well, they did not give them the signal 1 lap to go, so that will have to be the next time by at 3:94. So the most green flag racing we're going to see is 5 laps.
Seems like every time we come to Richmond, we see a great battle, and we have had a tremendous race here this evening, and this thing is far, far from over.
Now, Robin Pemberton said he was, you know, he felt pretty good about their chances of getting to the front. But if he and Terry Labonte get to racing side by side, then that's going to work to the advantage of Ken Schrader and Dale Jarrett.
Don't forget, we have Sports Center coming up at the conclusion of our race with all the activity from the world of sports. And tomorrow at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday Conversation features Stuart Scott sitting down with Michael Jordan as the Bulls return to Chicago and try for their 6th title. Okay, well, here we go for the last few laps. Again, the order is Dale Jarrett, the leader of the race. Our scoring monitor has Rusty Wallace in the front, but Ned, I don't think that's right.
No, that isn't right. No.
The points as of now show Jeremy Mayfield going back up into 1st, Rusty Wallace moving up a position, and
Jeff Gordon is back in 4th spot.
Continues to lose spots.
And what reason the monitor is showing Rusty Wallace in the lead? When they rolled off, see, they had stopped them right before they got to the start-finish line, and Dale waited for the pace car to pull away, and Rusty got to the start-finish line before DJ did, but they're back in order now.
Jarrett, Ken Schrader, Terry Labonte, and then Rusty Wallace. Right now, Jeff Gordon is being shown as a 36th place finisher.
And Dave Marcus is still on the racetrack. He's only 26 laps down, so it's possible that he could pass Jeff Gordon. And 13 car, Jerry Nadeau has just pulled his car in the garage here, so he will certainly not go by Jeff Gordon. The signal is given. 1 more lap.
So it'll be a 4-lap shootout at the green at the beginning of lap number 397.
Chad Little comes down pit road. He was about to be black flag before all of this happened. So does Ward Burton and Mike Skinner come down pit road.
They must have just opened the pits, Ned.
Evidently. And Burton's changing tires. Chad Little looks like he's changing tires, so they're going to try to get as much as they can on these last 4 laps.
Chad Little, after that great run all night, has now gone a lap down. There's the John Deere Ford cars leaving the pits.
But there are a good number of cars that are 1 lap down, so if he could pass any of them, it would just be in position. So I guess that's what he's trying to do. But the leader's coming off of the turn 4, so.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Here we go. It's Jarrett, Schrader, Labonte.
Wallace coming up on the outside of Labonte.
And Labonte's on the inside of Schrader. This is a battle for 2nd spot. If he can make this pass with ease, he's got a chance. But if Schrader holds him up, Jarrett's going to drive away. Can Labonte do it? Comes up the racetrack.
Labonte drove it deep into that corner, and he got around Schrader. 3 laps to go.
Terry Labonte moves to 2nd. Schrader back to 3rd. Rusty and Mark Martin follow.
Here comes Rusty Wallace. This is for the 3rd spot.
There's a car in the wall. Let's see. This might be it. Coming back to the start-finish line, and Labonte. No caution.
Labonte takes the lead. And Rusty Wallace is battling for 3rd spot.
The green continues. Benson hits the wall again over in the third and fourth corners, but down the backstretch they race as Dale Jarrett now finds himself second to Terry Labonte, and the white flag is coming out. We've got one more left to go.
And caution.
And caution, so Terry Labonte wins.
And Benson is still going.
And Rusty's still going too. Evidently he didn't see the caution. Rusty is still racing up there, but he's that's all for naught.
They did take the caution flag with the white, so they cannot change position, and Terry Labonte wins the Pontiac Excitement 400.
Andy Graves, his first victory as a crew chief.
It's Terry's first win since Talladega in October of last year. 16 races ago, Todd Parrott is somewhat unhappy about the incidents that occurred. Here's Jerry Punch.
Andy, how about that? What a finish.
That's awesome. That right there was for Rick Hendrick and Pop Hendrick, the whole Hendrick family. They're the greatest people in the world, and I'm tickled to death. Terry Labonte, I can't say enough for everybody. Kellogg's is awesome, and Terry Labonte showed right there what a great race car driver he is. 3 laps, 4 laps. I knew he could get to 33, but the 88 was pretty. It's going to be close. So.
Hey, just go celebrate and have a good time. We'll talk to Terry in just a minute.
Thanks, Jerry.
Bob?
Andy Graves, the crew chief for Terry Labonte, who wins his 3rd victory at Richmond, his 20th career win and 9th short track win. He becomes the 7th different winner of 1998, and he racks up the 6th win for Chevy this year. Quite a race.
Certainly was quite an evening.
Okay, let's watch the pass. Going into turn 3. Yes, he hits him. Hits Jarrett, gets Jarrett just loose enough that he gets by.
Dale Jarrett not happy on the cool down lap. This is the little exchange that occurred going down the backstretch. We go down to the McDonald's Winner's Circle interview.
And Terry Labonte gets out, stands on the window, puts both fingers in the air, waving to the crowd, and now gets congratulated by this Kellogg's crew as we move in here. John Hendrick comes over and gives him a great big hug, subbing for brother Rick and Terry. What a finish. Take us through those last 4 laps.
I'll tell you what, we didn't need those caution laps because our car was pretty good the longer we ran. And I got into the 88 down there. I know he's mad at me. I hate it. I was committed. I was trying to race him back. I thought there was going to be a caution flag. He came down, and I was there, and we hit. And I hate it. You know, Dale's a good guy, and he always runs a clean race. And, you know, we've never had a problem, and I just hate it happen. But these guys did a great job. We came up here and tested. We were terrible. Built a new car. Went and tested at some other racetracks. And came back and got our short track program back, I think. So I'm excited. I got to thank Kellogg's, Quaker State, Chevrolet. This Monte Carlo was pretty awesome. And GMAC, got to say hi to Rick Hendrick and thank John Hendrick for everything that these guys have done for us.
Terry Labonte wins the Pontiac Excitement 400. Let's go to Bill Weber.
With Rusty Wallace at the gas pumps, a great car for you, a solid run, a close finish, but everyone's going to remember the contact in turn 2, your version of it.
Well, my version of it is just we just racing for the win. We went down in the corner, both of us wide open. We got together, he spun and I went on, and that was it. The big thing happened at the end when the 5 and 88 got together. It was a heck of a race. I had those 4 tires, got alongside the 5 car, lost the race by about 4 foot, but man, I think we'll win one pretty soon. We keep getting so close. We keep having a good car, but I'd like to thank the entire crew, man. Great job tonight.
I know you try and keep everything positive. Obviously, Gordon did not see it the same way you did, Rusty.
Well, that's okay. We had a great race tonight, don't you think? Thank you.
Rusty Wallace finishes in 2nd position. Well, they're going to review some of the tape and make some determinations maybe later. Here's the unofficial results of tonight's event, with Wallace finishing 2nd, Martin 3rd, Jarrett 4th, Mayfield in 5th position. We told you earlier in the evening about how this has big track excitement and short track activity. Boy, we saw some short track action tonight, didn't we?
Man, this was unbelievable. What an exciting night for these 100,000 people that showed up.
The points are very much unofficial, but here's the way we have them as Mayfield takes over the lead and Jeff Gordon drops down to 4th in the point standings. Check out RPM today, tomorrow, and there'll be more definite word at that time. Congratulations to Terry Labonte, who wins the Pontiac Excitement 400. Stand by now. Sports Center is coming up in just a few moments. Thanks for joining us tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.